Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, first and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bar Hashem, Rakak Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessing to the hopeful and sincere elect. Joel 2:1. Let's get straight into it, man. Prophecy, man. Prophecy, man. This testimony of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, man. And that's what we're coming out here to do, week in and week out, until Shiloh returns, man. I know people might think this is laborious, you know, this is tedious. We're coming out here reiterating the same message week in and week out, but this is what prophets do, man. And we're the prophets of doom, as we keep saying. So we're gonna prophesy the judgment of this place, man. Go ahead, up.
Joel 2. So this is
Speak a bit loud as well.
Joel 2:1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
Yeah, we're out here to warn Zion, man. Zion represents what? The monument, aka Israel, man, to Zion one in the Hebrew. And we're out here to warn our people. As the Lord said in Ezekiel 3:17, give them warning from me. Because the Lord give us the heads up of what times we're in. You see what's happening, the perilous, catastrophic events, all kinds of apocalyptic events happen across the earth, man. Look what happened to Little Maui, man, in Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
Apostle Elder Tar calls it Little Maui, because that's going to be, America's going to be Big Maui, you know. Once America gets hit with those nuclear missiles, there's going to be nothing seen, and nothing, you ain't going to be able to recognize America ever again.
Yeah.
What they did over there with the laser beams, that laser beam technology, the DEWs and all that, you know, energy weapons that they got over there, that they used over there in Maui, man, totally decimated that land, incinerated cars, and they purposely made children go home after school when their parents was while their parents was at work, so they burnt all those children alive, man. Talking about 100 people, there's thousands of people that got murked off, man.
100%, man.
And that was basically a sacrifice unto Baal, because you know the scriptures talk about making your children pass through the fire onto Molech. So Esau used that situation as a sacrifice for the new world order, man. Now they want to build smart cities and all this BS. You know, brothers is hip to the game, man. What was it? Corinthians 2:20. Not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. We are not ignorant, man. We know what's going on behind the scenes. That's why we're the prophets, man. That's why the Lord gave us the heads up, because we're out here. We got the foreknowledge, and through the Holy Spirit, Rakak Kodash, we know all things, man. 1 John 2:20, go ahead up.
This is Amos 3:7. Surely the Lord's power, Yahweh, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Yeah, these Lord revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. And then read up verse 6.
Come. This is the book of Amos, the 3rd chapter, verse 6. It reads, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh have not done it?
Yeah, so that situation over there, Maui, Little Maui, that was orchestrated by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, even though he used Esau on the left-hand side, which Esau is the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. So the Lord could use Esau, he uses people to do his bidding, man. Just like he sends out the angels to do his work, he uses man to do his work as well. The Lord uses man on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. He's got his prophets that he sends out there on the highways and hedges, that was his mouthpiece, as it says in 2 Thessalonians. And then he uses Esau, Edom on the left-hand side to punish the wicked of the earth. There's those people that got jacked up in Hawaii, basically they're the heathens, man. They're the ones that the Lord don't care about. You know, even if there are jakes that was over there, the Lord don't care about them. So that's why the Lord had them get jacked up in that fire, man. They all got burnt alive, basically, man. Which is a painful death, to get burnt alive. And that's how America's gonna go out. That's indicative of what's gonna happen to America, man. Go ahead.
Psalms 78:49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them.
Evil angels, man. Death angels. Them death angels are going to be out here on a massive scale in these last days, man. And they're already out here because there's been a lot of reports, man. A lot of stories coming out. You know, people just getting jacked up, husbands killing their wives and all of that, dismembering them, you know, dumping their bodies and all that. One black bitch, she's a false pastor, nigger woman. She got found buried somewhere, you know, and it was because another woman basically knocked her over while she was driving.
Wow.
And then she just dumped the body somewhere, man. You know, tried to basically hide the evidence. So they both got fucked up. The woman that crashed into her and the woman that dropped dead, the Jake woman, and she's a false pastor. And the woman that knocked her over, she's a false pastor as well. So the Lord killed two birds with one stone, man. There's Zephaniah 3:5 if you can, yeah. But the Lord's coming out. The Lord is not playing, man. And we keep telling you, Jakes, man, the times that we're in, perilous times is coming on the earth, and evils are gonna multiply. And you can see it, man, because the Lord is judging, man. And you see, and you know, the RFID, come on, man, that you can't even stop speaking about that. You can see the evidence is plain as Jane, man.
Yeah.
Evidence is there right in your face. They're pushing the MOT to the B. They've got the palm payment readers now, you know. And now they got Jakes running up in these different retail stores stealing shit.
Yeah, so we're they're gonna find the parents of those Jakes basically pretty much as a deterrent, but that's all ultimately all control, man.
Yeah, it's all control because Esau's using it as a ruse, so he can come down with this new system of how people got to buy and sell,
Yep.
new security systems, you know, and all that. Basically, the whole Amazon Go type retail store
Yeah.
where it's going to be cashless and no cash tiers or none of that.
Yep.
You just walk in through the barriers, but you're gonna have that access, that biometric access, man. You're gonna have that biometric code on your phone, and then ultimately they're gonna put it underneath your underneath your skin, either your right hand, your left hand, or in your forehead, man. Like the video over there, Apostle Elder Tahar did. The woman in China, she didn't say, she's complaining, saying she can't buy no more food because she's visiting her family in China, and they're already using that system with the biometrics and all that. You know, so if she's not registered in the system, she can't go. She can't enter the stores and buy shit.
Yeah, that's the
She's obsolete, bro. She's an outsider.
What do you call it? One guy I used to work with. He just came back from China. It's when we speak about Esau coming in through doctrines of convenience, it's true, right? Because the way they've got them people over there, especially the middle class over there, it's to like everyone. You know, here we've got like keys and stuff, right? Over there, they all like enter their apartment blocks and their apartment buildings, their flats themselves using facial recognition and stuff like that. So they're already in that process.
They're advanced, man. They've always been more advanced than the West anyway.
That's it.
And now they're pushing that shit on the populace, the majority of the people. And it's going to be worldwide because that's the mark of the beast, man. The scriptures say it, man.
Yeah.
It's going to come across Revelation 3 and 10. It's going to come across the whole world, man.
Yeah.
To try man. You know, so this ain't no small thing, man. This is major prophecy, man.
Things, yeah.
And for you ignoramuses out here still being ignorant, well, that's on you, man, because the Lord basically doesn't want you to know this truth, the full truth, man, because probably he wants you to take that mark so he can destroy you, man.
Well, I was just in the store, right? We're getting the food from yours.
Yeah.
But it was a Turkish Jake. But basically, like, you know, it's talking about cash, innit? It was like, oh yeah, but not in our lifetime. Basically, we're gonna go cashless, but not in our lifetime.
Man, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's
All the
crazy.
banks, another bank just the other day said, look, we're cutting down.
Yeah.
That
It was a NatWest, was it?
NatWest. No, there's another one now.
Okay.
Saying
Right.
major bank saying we're cutting down on I think it's Barclays or one of them.
Yeah.
Saying they're cutting back on you know,
Cash.
staff and
Yeah.
giving out cash.
Yeah.
It was on the news the other day, man. They're saying that they're gonna start limiting the ATMs and all that.
Mm.
You know, like this is what's coming, man. It's a restructuring. It's called a Great Reset for a reason.
Yeah.
The fourth industrial revolution, man, and it's gonna be televised. Everyone's gonna have to take part. The only thing you're not gonna take part is in putting that damn chip inside your arm, man. Because if you take that, then you're gonna be put to death.
Mhm.
So we ain't gonna take the mark. The elects are not gonna take that mark, man. No matter what happens onto death, they're not gonna take that mark. No matter what Esau throws at them, you know. But the rest of the world, they're out there for the taking, man, because they don't know no better, man. They're just goyim, sheeple, ready to be branded by their masters, man.
Destroyed for their lack of knowledge, man, because
That's
they
it.
chose not to listen to the prophets. So their blood, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 2nd chapter, is on their own head, man.
Yeah, I called for something. I can't remember.
Yeah, Zephaniah.
Oh, 3 and 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, because the destruction's coming, man. It's not holding back. And the law's not holding back no more, man. And, you know, even Iran said they want to join the BRICS now. They're requesting to join the BRICS. That's Ezekiel 38.
100%.
So prophecy is being fulfilled, man. For you, Romans 3 and 3, man, because you don't have faith and you don't believe, doesn't mean that the Lord's word's not going to come to pass, man. Iran's asking to join the BRICS. Why is that? Because Russia is a defense onto Iran, man. It's in Ezekiel 38.
Yeah.
So no matter how you try and cut it and slice it, the word of the Lord, the will of the Lord's always being fulfilled, man.
Right.
That's it.
Got one real quick just on that. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Yeah, it's not lying no more, man. Meaning it's not holding back. The Lord's not holding it back no more. I'm sure if you look at that word lying, I mean, what would it say? But the Lord's not holding back no more, man. Like things are hastening. Like the Lord talks about hastening, everything hastening his time. And that's why the Lord said, even himself, he's going to come as a thief in the night. Meaning unexpectedly, when no one is expecting it, Because the law likes to deal with the element of surprise. You know, what does it say?
So it's kazab in the Hebrew H3576 says to lie, deceive, literally or figuratively, fail, be found, make a liar, lie, lying, be in vain.
Right.
Right. So
Can't.
basically, the Lord's word will not be in vain.
Yeah, can't.
Right.
Can't.
Which actually that's you can precept that with
Well,
Isaiah 55:11. My word shall not return unto me void.
Void. Exactly. Can't.
even like we was getting into in the car, pursuant to Deuteronomy 32, the Lord is the one that's bringing the destruction and synonymously also bringing the salvation. So
Mhm.
ultimately speaking, hey, the time of Jacob's trouble is going to be a time of great danger, man, for anyone that's outside of the covering of the Lord, man.
Yeah. The what's it called in the Revelations? The Revelations 11. Was it
Yeah.
Revelations 12?
The sanctuary.
No, the begins with P. Ah, it's on my tongue right now. It's can't protection. Nah, no, it's the heathens, the Gentiles outside.
Periphery.
No.
No.
Outside of the Revelations 12, innit?
Yeah.
Talking about the heathens outside of the.
Let me try and Google it and see.
Oh man, the words on the tip of my tongue. I just can't fucking say it. But anyway, that's what's coming, man. The time of the Lord's judgment is on the earth, man, and we're here to prophesy that. We're here to welcome him, because why? Because we can't leave this place unless these prophecies come to pass, man. And the Lord is bound by his word. Profane, that's it. So
Okay,
like,
yeah,
outside of the temple. That's
Yeah.
what. So outside of the temple, these niggas, that 2/3, they're outside of the temple. Like we had a discussion in the car, you know, with certain particular Jake.
Yeah.
Jake think this place is gonna go on forever. But the Lord said, someone get 1 Corinthians 7:31 and 1 John 2:15. Read John 15 first, 2 and 15 first, and then go to Bible Hub and read 1 Corinthians 7:31. Like, 'cause they've got different translations there. I want to just jump on that. Because Jake think this place. First, he's getting second John. He's getting 1 John 2 and 15.
John
Love not the
2:15.
world.
Okay.
He's getting that. Because Jake think this place is gonna go on forever, man. Like, you know, they just gave out the exam results the other day,
Yeah.
and this black chick,
Or
she
going
got
Oxford.
all A's and shit.
Going Oxford,
Yeah, she's saying I'm going to Oxford University and all that. Like, Jake think this place is gonna go on for fucking ever, not knowing that the Lord's about to turn this place inside out, man, and destroy this place with nuclear fire. Why are you here trying to plant seeds and trying to endeavor a greater future, trying to basically envying the prosperity of the wicked, because you want to live like the Edomites. You know, you want to go to their universities and their establishments, but that's not what the all and end all and be all, man. This is not our rest. And the Lord said that we're supposed to spiritually and mentally depart from this place, man, because this place will utterly destroy you. But in the way of our people, especially the nigger woman, they're just like sheep led to the slaughter, man. They follow their master because Esau's ruling right now. They're not following the Israelite man, they're following Esau. So anything Esau pushes and promotes, like, she's happy, she's more than happy. She was all elated and screaming, you know, she's bare happy and shit, you know, 'cause she wants to be like an Edomite, basically. But you gonna die. You're gonna die like an Edomite too.
Yeah, because especially in them environments where it's just mostly Edomites anyway, and you see that with all the heathen, whether it's an Elam chick, a Moab chick, when they are around all of these heathens, these Edomites rather, they become like the Edomites.
Yeah, they're gonna start using and abusing her, man.
You know,
They're gonna like, do smut videos and all of that shit, man.
Yeah.
Probably with her, man, because you know she gotta get initiated
that's
in
it.
some of them fraternities and that. So they're gonna turn into a lesbo, man, a dyke.
Because that's what that university is, man. It's just a machine. Man, there was this girl that I went to school with, man. Bro, up until like she was the only child, and her father kept her in straightly. Right, she was a virgin.
Straight.
But now I see her on Instagram. I was like, bro, it's a damn shame, man.
It's over.
It's a damn shame. She went uni.
University will ruin.
The world got her, man. College is even bad enough, but then when you get to uni, man, and you send your children away, so to speak, you let them live on campus and that's the worst thing to do, bro. Because they're just gonna get whored out. Your daughter's just gonna come back a straight up whore, man. Come back all kind of STDs. She might even come back pregnant and shit, man. Talking about I'm pregnant and shit.
Which comes back with a new mind, man.
Right? Corrupted mind.
Corrupted,
She's gonna come back
brainwashed,
thinking that she's an Edomite and all that, trying to live that type of lifestyle.
Hell.
Just totally corrupted, man. Lost all her values.
Man, there was
in 12,000, 12,000 fucking.
All that debt. She's a debt baby now.
There was this not a brief trend on the Twitters, right, where basically it was showing like before and after uni, but in America, right, it will show like, for instance, it'll be a relatively a sweet young woman, and then after uni, her
Innocent.
hair's
No.
shaved off,
Yeah, half the head shave off, mohawk,
blue hair,
all that
mohawk,
shit.
tats.
Basically,
You know,
become a straight up Roman citizen, man.
yeah.
As in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's that do as thou wilt shit.
Mhm.
Thelma and all that. That's what they become, man. That's why they get the degrees and become like lesser luminaries, basically, for the Masons, man. Because even when I was in uni, I wrote a fucking dissertation, like on purposely. I wrote a dissertation on the art, like banking industry, like basically how it's gonna go cashless and all that. I purposely did that just to see what the reaction and all that, and they gave me on a 2-2, like
Haters.
bastards. He's hating.
Haters.
I was like, yeah, because even the picture, like the credit card picture and all that, and then it's showing how the industry's gonna change from what it is now to basically going how it is now, going digital.
Yeah.
And this was like 08, 09, all of that, like done that. Like,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to do it just to see what they would fucking say, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they gave man a 2-2 on a hating thing, bro. But anyway, that uni shit is played out, man. That shit is for fucking not nerds, but it's for the goyim, man. It's for the indoctrinated. It's just basically to turn you into a serf, an employee, a loyal employee. They don't want you to be able to create anything of your own. You're going there to just become part of the system, man.
Indoctrinated.
That's it, man. Because when you go to the marketing, especially the marketing courses and all that, marketing classes, I remember, bro, this is bare Illuminati, it's bare symbolism, bro. Bare pyramids, all this Pythagoras shit, all these pyramids and all these the 4 Ps and all that. It's all fucking Illuminati shit, man. Triangles everywhere, all seeing eye and all that. What the fuck is all that got to do with marketing, man? They're showing you the marketing, what the devil, man.
Isaiah 31. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
And that's what you're doing when you want to want this place to go on. You know, you think this place is the beacon of society. When the Lord's about to destroy this place, this kingdom is no different from any other kingdoms come in times past, man. It's not even greater either. It's actually the less out of all the kingdoms that was on the earth, because it started with the head of gold, and now it's become iron and miry clay. So it shows you that over time the heathens have become less and less. Their kingdoms become more and more desolate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, degradate, man. Because Esau, I mean, the heathens started with Babylon, the head of gold, the hanging gardens and all of that. Even today, I was watching Transformers, the Revenge or whatever, of the Sith or whatever it's called, the Revenge of the Fallen, and they go to Petra, bro. They go to Mount Petra and all the shine, the same fucking building that Indiana Jones went to, in that in the Holy Grail, you know, same building, bro. And then they were standing there astonished in that. But even when he went inside, he looked on the wall, and there was pictures of Esau, man, pictures of Edomites on the wall, bro. Showed you that that's Esau's original homeland, Mount Seir, man. Mount Petra, they call it today. They call it one of the 7 wonders of the world, you know. And granted, Esau made that out of fucking rock, you know, and all that red clay and all that shit. But he's still the damn devil. He's still the damn heathen. And that's nothing but an illustration of what this concrete jungle is today. Modern day Rome 2.0. But anyway, go back onto the top. First John, yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is second.
First John 2:15.
1 John 2 and 15. One sec. It says,
Love not the world.
love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Yes, so you gotta make a decision, man. Were you gonna be with the world, or you gonna be with Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the street? And even more so in the times we're in now, people are gonna have to make critical decisions, life-threatening, life-changing decisions, man. Because if you accept that mark, you're basically saying you're with the world. And the Lord's gonna have to destroy you, man. Because if anyone that's a friend of the world is an enemy of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If you're with the Lord, you're gonna have to roll with faith. And faith is a gift given on to certain men. It's not given to all men. And you're gonna see that how many men actually have faith in these last days when all hell breaks loose. Like, you're gonna see how special and how, you know, treasured having faith actually is. Because a lot of men ain't gonna have it in these last days. A lot of people are gonna just lose their mind, bug out, like they show you in all these post-apocalyptic movies, Zombie Land and Resident Evil. People bug out, man. World War Z. As soon as something crazy happens, people just lose their mind, man. No, they lose all their faculties and shit. Oh yeah, when people ain't got nothing else to lose, they lose it.
Okay, if I can say real quick, for me, one of the best scenes in film and cinema ever was at the beginning of The Road.
Yeah,
where
The Road.
Charlize Theron's character is like, look, man, I can stay with you, but then they're gonna catch me.
Bitch, you got
And they're
naked,
gonna
right?
rape me.
Yeah.
And they're gonna kill me. so I'm gonna just go kill myself now. I was like, bro, she kept it real because that's what happens in times of trouble, man.
But she had a husband, man. Her husband
Yeah.
could have protected her, but she
Yeah,
didn't even.
that's it. Yeah.
She basically just
Didn't
like,
trust in him.
yeah, she didn't have enough faith in him that he would protect her, man.
Yeah.
Because the men,
Yeah.
women are gonna be chasing men down, but they're not gonna be chasing any man. They're gonna be looking for specific men, the men of the law, because men are gonna be more precious than fine gold in the days to come. And this is months from now. This ain't no years
Mhm.
and 10 years from. This is months from now, because you can see where everything is headed,
That's it.
where technology is heading, the system's heading.
Yeah.
You know, crashes and all of that. Everything's gonna start changing more and more at a
Drastically,
faster rate.
Yeah.
And when it does happen, the MOT is made mandatory. There are a lot of people gonna be like bewildered, heard running in the street, confused, not knowing what to do. They're gonna be looking for the videos and all that,
Yeah.
and all that, not being able to fight Amos 8 and 11. The famine of the word's gonna come. People gonna be losing their marbles, but then the apostles gonna be sitting back with us, so we're gonna be sitting back laughing, saying, "We told you so, man."
Yeah.
Out there,
And-
laugh at your calamity. and
Mock with your
anything
fear
that
cometh, man.
Yeah.
Because you
that's
niggas are stupid, man, and you're too hard-headed. You're too rebellious.
Yeah.
We're out here telling you week in and week out what's coming, and you're still there out here trying to enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah.
Trying to stay in,
In Mirthland.
in
man.
Mirthland and all that, man. When all hell's about to break loose right before your eyes, man, and
Yeah.
everyone's gonna be affected. It ain't just
Oh,
one
yeah,
city
yeah,
or one country. Everyone's gonna be affected,
Yeah.
man.
And they're showing you, man. Esau Edom's got this AI technology mastered. They're showing you ChatGPT like that's the latest innovation. When really and truly, that's old technology that they've been had. Like really and truly, like that can literally just write essays for you. You've got that voice programming in phones. You've had that from ages, for however long. Like artificial intelligence for the average person is gonna whack them out of existence, man. Like you got Wilco, for example. That's the big deal right now in the working world, talking about how 12,000 jobs and the spirituals, actual 12,000 jobs as well, are going to be lost when that company collapses.
Yeah.
But pretty much, give it a couple of months' time when they really steam grab this AI, the average person is going to be out of work, and then you got mortgage bills to pay, which you're going to be able to maintain.
What happened in 2000 is a sector that I work from, the tech world, man.
Yep.
But all of those tech bros losing their jobs. Well, you got Facebook, Google, Amazon, Netflix, all cutting jobs. The only ones that didn't was Apple. And this weren't like cutting 1,000 jobs. I think globally, you lost like 100,000 tech jobs globally. Now, tech is one of those high-paying industries, right?
Yeah.
So then guess what? Those are people with expensive ass mortgages, right, to pay off.
Upper class, basically.
The upper
Middle and upper class.
Upper middle class, yeah. Right? So those expensive mortgages, man. I read one guy, he was hurt, bro. He was like, look, man, I've got this $1 million house.
Complex and that. You have to sell, you have to
Right?
sell that shit, bro.
Yeah,
And
bro.
you're probably not even gonna get the what it's worth.
Exactly.
You're
But
gonna have
that
to
was
sell
a
it for
trap.
less.
That was
Yeah.
the trap. Because the finance roles, that's gonna happen next, right?
You got computers that can
Yeah.
do that, bro. Like,
And do a
The
better job.
AI is gonna be more efficient.
Yep.
And more, more precise, and it won't make less mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's ongoing. It's 24 hours. You don't have to turn that shit off. It's a computer. It's a
And
machine.
you don't have to pay.
Machine. You don't have to pay. You don't have to feed it. You don't have to, give it holiday time and all that.
no lunch
No
break,
maternity
lunch
leave.
break.
None of that.
Yeah,
So they're gonna let the AI take over. You people
Yeah.
are gonna be out here starving to death, man,
That's
suffering on UBI and a fucking
Yeah.
what's it the one in the UK?
Universal credit.
Universal credit and shit like that. You're gonna be suffering out here, man. That's how they're gonna make it for you.
Yeah.
All because they want you to take that damn the chip. They want you to take that chip in your right hand and your forehead, man.
Mhm.
But if you take it, that's gonna be your damnation, because the law's gonna have to put your ass to death. But back into what in 1 John 2:15. There's my point I want to bring out.
Fine. So this is the book of 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in
Speak
the
up a bit,
world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Right.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Yeah, that's all the fulfillment of this world, man. All your endeavors, all your dreams. I want to be this person. I want to be that person. All your
I'm trying to
future.
get married.
I'm trying to get married. That's all that worldly shit. Not saying there's nothing wrong. There's something wrong getting married or getting a woman, but this is not the time and place, man. There's a time and place for everything. Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter tells you. There's a time and place for everything. This is not our kingdom, man. We're supposed to be in mourning. We're in a state of mourning because we're in captivity. If you haven't noticed, man, we're still under our oppressors, man.
That's it.
Our oppressors are ruling over us. That's why we're in the situations that we're in right now. Unemployment, the bottom of society, struggling, working check to check, day to, that type of situation. And our people trying to ignore that, but that's the reality, man.
Yeah,
You
precept.
can't ignore reality.
This is Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
Yep. And that's what people are doing, man. They're putting their eggs in one basket, thinking that this place is gonna go on forever.
Yeah.
But this place has got it's on a ticking time bomb, man.
Yeah.
It feels like there's a credit event, as I did the video. A credit event coming up soon, man. Something's not right in the ether, like you.
No, bro, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not.
so-
Like, we were speaking. Sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We were speaking about like the way they measure inflation is bullshit, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
all they do is they take every month a core basket of the most popular goods that
Yeah.
are being retailed, and then they just take the average increase in those prices and say, oh well, through some calculations,
Yeah.
we estimate that inflation is at such and such a mark. Then they got some other shit which is core inflation, where they basically strip away what it costs for food and energy
Yeah.
and say, okay, cool, this is what it costs, basically pretty much at the core of maintaining societal norms to keep basically what the price ranges. That shit ain't changed since they've been doing all of these Bank of England base rate increases, 14 of them. So they're gonna only it don't make no sense. So this is all bullshit. It's all just a fantasy to get you people gradually like pretty much desensitized and then and in that trap. Because if they were to just rank it up like literally to what they did immediately,
people
they'd have-
confidence
drops.
people will bug out.
It's like you say, because markets work on confidence, right?
Yeah.
And when you start putting out certain numbers, oh, England is officially in a recession. People are like, oh, but
Yeah.
these times everyone's through. It's true, and there's a concept called lying with statistics, which is
Yeah.
why whenever you read any kind of statistic that this man gives you, you have to go into the definitions,
Yeah.
man. Right? Well, one that always comes up to mind is the statistic for a single parent household.
Mm.
There's an actual proper definition, which is like, oh no, but if they live, then it's not, and it's just there like, well, wait there.
That's bullshit.
If you got a woman and she ain't got a husband but she's got kids,
Yeah.
that's a single parent household.
Yeah, facts.
You know,
Facts.
in the way Jake works, right? But
Mm.
Esau wants to complicate things,
Mhm.
Yeah,
right?
you got false confidence. That's what you call false confidence.
Yeah.
Like the whole money system, people believe in it because they have false confidence that actual
That's it.
paper note
Yeah.
is actually worth some type of intrinsic value, when actually it's paperless and it's worth nothing. And
Yep.
soon it's going to be actually, worth wiping your nose with.
Yeah,
Because the whole cash system is getting depleted
Yep.
right now as we speak.
Credit, which literally means belief.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
If, in certain languages, you will have the word, like in Romanian, you say, I believe is eu cred, i.e., I have belief.
Credo
Well,
and all that.
Credo, yeah.
Well, you give someone the credit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You give,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally the belief.
It's a belief. Yeah.
Got something. It says Ecclesiastes 12:3, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Brand is season
Yep. Go
because
ahead.
they are few. Right now, hey, they've done a road to the middle class, man. You're either really poor on the poorer end, or you're rich in the society.
Yeah.
And then really and truly, a lot of these corporate organizations are gonna especially when they roll out at CBDC, you're not gonna have a need for cashiers and middlemen in these retail organizations. A lot of people are gonna lose income overnight, man.
Certain rich people are going to start suffering. They're going to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
They're even saying that now with the Hollywood situation, with the AI taking over the scripts and that. A lot of people's out of work, and that happened during the COVID. A lot of people was out of work. These celebs,
Yep.
they were suffering for that 2-year period. It's only when Hollywood opened up again, they was able to get some money and all that. But
Yeah.
when the shit shut down, everyone was affected, even the rich, man.
Yeah, especially the musicians, because and it, once again going into the lies that this man tells you, right? They think most people think you become a musician and you're made. It's like, nah. Most musicians actually make money from touring, from the shirt
But
sales at
selling
the stadium,
merchandise and all that,
sell their merchandise and this, that, and that. So when they couldn't tour,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
were broke.
Well, most musicians live off credit. You get the advance from the label,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
pay it back.
And it's basically a debt.
Yeah.
And even now they're saying, I think it was Apple Music, whatever, bro. They're saying they're not even signing any more rappers. Like
Yeah.
all these record labels are not signing any more rappers. They're only going to sign
And
Afrobeats and Jamaican type rappers or artists or something like
Yeah.
that. They're not signing any more rappers because all these rappers basically just
they don't sell.
they don't sell, and it's just it's saturated. You got all these rappers every other day. Someone's rapping, coming out with a one hit wonder, and then after that they don't sell anything. You don't make any money. And Ice Spice, all these bitches like they don't make any more like money and all that. They're just one and done type bitches and all that. Like it's just non-effective.
Yeah.
So they're losing out on a lot of money. So they're going to start dealing with actual artists that make
Yeah.
good music,
Yeah.
better music, not good music, but better music than all that rap fucking
Yeah.
tin can music that they, that drill shit and all that, man.
It goes to show you though that Esau's the devil, because here it is, right? All of these drillers and nigger music makers, let me say that, just classify it all in one lump, right?
Yeah, nigga making music.
Yeah,
It is.
Esau gave them a platform. Jake was just killing themselves, selling drugs, right? Just being degenerates of society. Now Esau's accomplished his plan. He's like, look, but that's the scriptures. It
The
says
way
that
the
if he
wicked.
have need of thee,
Yeah.
right, he will keep thee close.
Yeah.
But when he no longer has need of you, he will just throw you away.
I mean, when it first opened, like music and all that, it was lucrative because obviously he was using Jake to make money off them and
Yeah.
also to indoctrinate our people
Mm.
to be docile and all that. So it was
Yeah.
lucrative for Esau, but now it's not so lucrative. He's just throwing money away, wasting money on these one hit wonder artists, man. So now they're trying to change it up, they're trying to cut it down. But even the daughters of music says that in Ecclesiastes 12, which you read, that the daughters of music are going to be brought low, man, because it's low quality of music, and everything's just falling apart regarding that Hollywood, so-called
Production.
lifestyle and that shit, man. Everything, all that shit is just withering away because it's all temporal, man. And the fashion of this way passeth away. And I was going to keep reading. Go back to First John. It's like, I want to read those two precepts, man.
Go. One sec. Alright, go. 1 second.
Part where it left off.
Yeah. First John 5, 2
2
and
and 15.
15. Verse 2 and continuing on from 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And if I can say as well, because at the end of the day, a lot of these Jakes as well follow that fucking Christianity to this day, like die-hard Christians, man. And you gotta understand, like, it's a different spirit, man. You're preaching of another Yahweh Shai, man. Because at the end of the day, Jesus Christ was never the God of the Israelites, man. The Heavenly Father didn't send down his son to die for every single nation and to bring all people onto the covenant, because they weren't anything to do with the original covenants anyway. The Bible actually preaches revenge onto the enemies of Israel, whereas that Christian doctrine promotes all sorts of fucking fallacies, man, that you can just forgive Esau, Edom, and accept them into the congregation, which is fucking blasphemy, man. It's wickedness. It says, and the world thereof, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof.
That's the point I want. The world's going to pass away.
Mm.
This world is temporal, man. This place is not going to go on for too much longer. This place is going to pass away with noise and pestilence, with destruction, man. Go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever.
That's it. You got First Corinthians.
Yeah. You said
Bible
what
Hub,
version did you
Bible
wanted
Hub.
it?
Bible Hub.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yeah.
Which version do you want?
Read the first two versions and then jump to the KJV.
Okay,
NLT and then
And NIV.
NIV, NLT.
It says 1 Corinthians 7:31 in the NIV. It says, those who use the things of the world as if not engrossed in them, for this world in its present form is passing away.
This world is going to pass away. So why would you lay up your treasures knowing that the Lord's about to destroy this place, man? It's contrary. It's basically moving asinine, man. And you're going to get caught up. Because when all hell breaks loose, you're going to be in the spirit, especially these women, they're going to be in the spirit of Lot's wife. They're going to be holding on to their merchandise, their treasures. They're going to be longing after their house, their little mini mansion that they just had. They're going to be thinking about the drapes that they just put up in the house.
The cushions.
They're going to be thinking about the latest whip that they just bought. How they really had not driven any miles in it. They're going to be thinking about the pleasures of this world.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring them death and destruction, man. Because that's not going to be able to save you.
We're instructed to be as pilgrims upon the earth, innit? And
Exactly,
live,
man. And you basically, we use the world but not abusing that. We're going to continue to read.
Yep. So now the NLT.
Yep.
Those who use the things of the world should not become attached to them.
Yeah, you can't become attached to it, man. Entangle if not with the affairs of this life. A soldier of Yahweh Shem Yahushua shall not entangle himself with the affairs of this life, meaning you're not going to be attached to it. Meaning if all hell breaks, if all bets is off, push comes to shove, you're ready to drop everything at a drop of a dime and keep it moving, man.
Well, that's that scene from Heat.
Yeah.
Film Heat.
Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Never get attached to anything you're not able to leave. Drop in 10 seconds flat.
Exactly. And that's in the heat, when we're in the thick of it. When something bad is about to happen, you're ready to just drop everything, keep it moving. That's why even the Lord said in Matthew, man, when you take nothing with you, basically. Your personal, like, take nothing with you. He said basically.
When you see the abomination that make it desolate.
Yeah.
No
Well, 70 AD.
Yeah.
Where Jake would have wanted to grab their the nicest garment that they had, and all these different things, little things that they could use to help them on their journey. And the Lord said, don't even do that, man. Don't grab nothing. Just take yourself and keep it moving, man. Flee to the mountains, man.
That's it.
Go ahead. You got
Yeah, more. So yeah. So those who use the things of the world should not become attached to them.
Fine.
For this world, as we know it, will soon pass away.
This world, as we know, is going to pass away. How? By nuclear destruction, man. By ICBM missiles. You see what's going on in the news with all these different nations, man, going back and forth, talking about these ICBMs, the tensions brewing between the BRIC nations, NATO, and the EU, man. Everyone testing out their weapons and all that.
Yeah.
Drills and all these things that's happening in the Black Sea and shit.
And if I can say, it's going to be a national scale as well, because even in the west coast of Africa right now, with
Niger and all that, Niger uranium and all that.
Yeah, exactly, man. You got the ECOWAS countries backed by the EU, and then you got Russia backing Niger, man, with countries like Algeria on their side as well, Burkina Faso, Mali.
People don't understand how big of a major threat Russia really is, because they got so many nations dependent on them now.
Yep.
Libya, Persia, Ethiopia. It says that in the scriptures, man. All these nations are dependent upon Russia as a guard.
Yeah.
Russia's a major guard unto these nations, so they're gonna back them no matter what, man.
Well, you got the quote that Putin said just the other day, man. He was like, "Look, man, if I was president at that time, Gaddafi would still be alive." Right? Of course. So basically the image and right now everything with Niger that is happening right now, the world is watching.
Yeah.
Right, and the leaders of this world and the people of this world, they're like, "Look, man, is Russia really going to stop this intervention? Because if they do, then they're going to be like, look, man, we already know who we gotta go with. We gotta ally ourselves with, man. Because then they're gonna be, they're gonna look at Russia like a god.
Yeah. And it's also gonna fuck up a lot of those European nations, because Burkina Faso and Mali are still subject to the French. They still provide goods to the French. If they suddenly just switch alliances, hey, life in France is gonna get very difficult, overnight. You know, because a lot of these European nations, like it says in Habakkuk, this man doesn't keep at home. All they do is consume, man. Britain actually literally doesn't produce much, but it takes and stocks up a lot from other foreign nations, and a lot of imports. That's why as soon as they left the EU, which was a fucking stupid idea, but anyway, it was prophecy that they were going to do it anyway. They were quickly trying to get deals with Australia, Japan, all random nations, because they know they're dependent on imports.
That's it. Random nations that make when you had a neighbor next door.
Yeah.
You know?
Because Britain's part of the Great Britain. It's part of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit. Nothing grows there, man. Europe, nothing grows there. It's an export, import type economy, man.
Yeah.
They don't really export anything. It's more imported, man.
Yeah.
That's why the British Empire, when they was in their tyrannical rule, like when they was at their height, they was going around stealing everything, man. They was taking gems from different parts of West Coast and all that Ivory Coast.
Well, even
diamonds,
India. East India Company. Right?
You know, the West Indian Company, they got East India Company as well.
Yeah.
Then they was taking all the resources, all the coca, all the coffee beans. They was going around taking everyone's shit, man. Because nothing grows in Europe, man. That's how they became so great. And then they had slaves on top of that. It's a free labor on top of that to work the fields.
Yeah.
But then they want to talk about illegal immigrants, man, and deport the Jamaicans that came over there to help them after World War II. You white people were the fucking devil, man.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't the Brits request them?
They did.
They asked them politely. They tried to swindle them, basically. They promised them all
these benefits.
They promised them all this bullshit, false pretenses and all that. You know how Esau does. You're gonna get all these benefits. We're gonna help you do this, that, and the third. You got free housing and all that. And then they came over here. They were stuck in the ghetto, man. Yeah. Stuck in fucking, what's it called? Community housing and whatever, man. Stuck in the ghettos, man. Council housing. Sus laws and all that shit. They was getting hit up by the police when they were supposed to be basically welcome them into society, man. After they helped build this fucking place back up. Then years later, they talk about deporting Jake that came to fucking help them build this shit-ass society. Yeah. If it weren't for Jake, this society would have been crumbled, man. Women can't build society.
Yeah, because all the men died, man. Not all the men, but you get what I'm saying. A lot of men died during the war.
It was just bare women out here, man. Bare women, so they needed men to actually do all that manual labor.
That's it.
They'll build infrastructure. That's what men do.
Yeah.
It's Jake are the innovators anyway, man.
Doing a lot of jobs that he didn't want to do back then.
Yeah, just like Jake does now. Esau will hire out the lower class citizens and give them like penniless dollar type jobs because they low paid jobs basically because they know that they will do it because they're desperate for work. Like the Mexicans and all that, they will talk about the borders and all that, but they need those workers because they they do the work, man,
They do
for
the
low
work.
pay.
That's it. So this is now in the KJV. I'm gonna read into it in the KJV.
Yeah, it's it's both of them. It's KJ, it's King James, and then it's King James, the version, whatever. I don't know
The
why
New
there's
King
two.
James.
No, but in that same thing, you see it.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I'd,
see it.
I'd actually clicked into
Oh,
into it. So he said. So I see King James Bible and the New King James Bible. That's what I see here.
yeah, go ahead. Let's read
But
Bible
yeah, I'm
one.
gonna King James Bible. I'm gonna read into it for this one. So it's First Corinthians 7 from 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
The time is short. The time is short, man.
No,
There's not a lot of time left. Even Esau's got the doomsday clock because they know that they ain't got a lot of time left to do what they got to do. They got to fast track this new world order, man.
That's it.
Everything's about climate change, and that's why they're setting up all these damn wildfires all over the place. Canada's getting on fire, you know, Maui's on fire. Everyone's on fire all of a sudden.
That net zero bullshit plan that they're trying to produce. It's all just towards the NWO, like we always say every week.
They're using that horse. Yeah, they're using that weaponry, man, that laser technology to start all these damn fucking fires. Yeah, the DEWs, man, to start all these damn fires, and it acts like it's conspiracy. If people say that it's they're using
direct energy.
You know what I'm saying?
And they've been at heart.
Plus,
Heart machine,
yeah. That's old news. Now we don't even talk about heart like that.
That should be common news, but it's
They
not.
use that shit to create storms, create earthquakes.
Yeah.
Like this white man thinks he's the most high on the left hand side, man.
But then they'll say conspiracy theories. But then fucking Dubai does that to create rain.
Hey, well,
They
China's
actually-
creating
yeah.
artificial beaches and shit and all of that. Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know, so these things are happening, but it's okay. Don't believe us, right? You fall into that fucking what was that ESG trap, if you will, man, economic social governance trap, man, right? You fall into that whole climate change hoax, man. Oh shit, they're gonna fucking take the video down now, aren't they? Shit's luck. But you fall into all of that, man. It's cool. Right, because when Esau's got you eating slop, like he shows you in these films, man.
Yeah.
You can come back.
To show you that's the Trojan horse towards them owning nothing. They're making everybody retrofit homes. If you're a homeowner and you got a buy to let, you got to basically according to their bullshit standards, make your home energy efficient, which is gonna cost you grand. So most of them are just saying fuck it, we're just gonna sell to the corporations, which is going to the banks and these major institutions as well, man. Even like they had some law. I don't want to butcher it, but on a high level, if you was a upper class citizen and you had a decent home and you had as a buy to let, you could basically use some of the income from your buy to let towards basically your retirement funds. There was a whole process they had around that. And Esau Edom basically, because of the fact that they're pretty much trying to rein in these property owners, they've cut all of those sorts of benefits. And now if you sell off a property, you're then taxed on the inheritance tax as well. So you've got to go through the whole leverage of getting a limited company set up and doing it. It's bullshit. It's all fucked up.
But once again, it's only, like you said before, only the really rich are going to be able to
go through that.
But even then, they're going to fall into the trap.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this the other day, if I may, Salakia, right? Which goes to show that this man's a devil. Scriptures talk about, lending upon usury and stuff like that. But imagine now, you put your money in a bank.
Yeah.
Because you've got your money in a savings account, and he technically is using that money to do his own stuff, right? To lend it out to other people, right? You get paid the interest. That's why you get interest on savings account. But then this man being a devil, you get taxed on the interests that you get, that you're getting back from him spending your money.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, this man is the devil.
Well, here we have value added tax as well.
Value added, yeah.
You get taxed when you buy things. That just shows you it's fucked. But yeah, man.
So it says, but it's 1 Corinthians 7:29. But I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Right? And I was going into just like how the mentality that you're in, man. Because at the end of the day, this is our main woman, man. This truth, Sophia. Right? This is our main truth. This is our main woman. Everything else really secondary, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I could say, but that's a bit of news that I've just seen that shows you this kingdom is separated. So you got Turkey, basically that's basically technically aligned with NATO and that. And then they basically had a situation where Turkish troops have clashed with British peacekeepers. So now you've got Ursula von der Leyen of the EU basically criticizing Turkey, for attacking like those British
mm,
citizens.
mm.
So now the Brit, it just goes to show now the British government got to basically put some sort of response out, which just goes to show that this whole EU is crumbling.
Get Daniels too, man. Get the
That's
scriptures,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Carry on with
Finish
that.
this. Yes, it says, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. So this is really like a precept to 2 Ezra 16, 40 onwards, man. Okay.
Uh-huh.
It says, and they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
Exactly. So that's why we tell you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to spiritually come out of this place, man. Meaning get out of the mindset of thinking that this place is gonna go on. Prepare your minds, man. That's why even the Lord said, when danger's about to appear or things are about to turn peak, so to speak, what does it tell you? Take care of your house.
Yeah. Yeah. Prepare that house.
Prepare your house, man, because this place is gonna go, man.
Yep.
When Lot was on the scene, angels just came up to him, told him, "Look, man, we're ready to go." They didn't give him no time to get ready and think about it and all that. There ain't no time for that. When the Lord said it's time to go, it's time to go, man. And if you don't roll with the punches, roll with the system, roll with what's going on, you're gonna get caught up in the destruction, man.
You know what it is. People don't realize this is a burning house, right? Like if you wake up in the middle of the night, right, and you see that your house is on fire, you better get out of that house.
Mhm.
Yep.
But what some people will try and do is they'll try, oh, I need to go get this, oh, I need to go get that, oh, I need to go get that, and then guess what? They get burnt up, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
This is that burning house,
Mhm.
right? The fires all around us is that most people can't see it, man.
And America's gonna be literally on fire,
Yeah,
man.
literally.
You people don't even want to understand that. But every other day they're talking about nuclear arms and arms race and arms this and that. So
Yeah.
the nuclear arms race is actually real. That's showing you that ICBM missiles are definitely on the table, man. So that should even more affirm that the prophecies are speaking testament and truth. Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai talks about the nuclear missiles being the end of the society, man.
That's it.
So that just brings us closer and closer to the day of doom and the day of the Lord, the day of the Lord's return.
Yeah, so I got the precept first and foremost. This is Daniel 2, and I'll go from 40. And the fourth kingdom, talking about Rome, shall be as strong as iron, as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part iron.
Yeah, so the toes, the legs was representing the shins, whatever was representing the Roman Empire, the iron. How they went around the earth swiftly as the eagle, as it talks about them taking over the earth, the known earth at that time. And then the 10 toes represents the NATO and the EU now, which is basically Rome 2.0, Rome revived through the Renaissance, man. And you got NATO and the EU, and America's part of that, and part of NATO. But the 10 toes represents all these European counterparts, man, that are at odds, that are not playing ball with each other anymore. The 5 that are partly strong, 5 that are weak. And Great Britain's supposed to be part of the strong ones. And then you got France as well, Germany and all of that. We'll name some others.
Italy
strong.
technically. Well,
Yeah, it's strong.
The strong nation. So yeah, France, Germany,
England.
Great Britain.
No,
Name
because
them.
I remember the pigs. I can remember the
Yeah, the
pigs.
pigs and all that. Yeah,
But basically, everyone outside of the pigs, basically.
yeah.
Because the pigs, those are the weak nations: Portugal,
Portugal,
Italy,
Greece.
Ireland, Greece, and Spain.
Yep.
Those-
So those are the weak ones,
Yep.
and they're all contrary to each other right now. And especially with the situations that's going on economically,
Yeah.
they're showing you how they're more and more going to start, separating themselves.
I'm just coming to say hello to my brother here. Yeah, from the other day.
No worries. Every Saturday we're here, man.
Brother, as I said, innit, you're going to see me. Well, I know you're here. Well, I'm just working right now.
Okay, good.
Do my thing.
Shalom, bro. Yeah?
Yes, my brother. Love and respect all the time.
All right, bro. Peace out. Yeah, man. So that's you can see that they're getting more contrary as the economic, situations are happening. We just brought up the British situation with the French and all of that, and the back and forths. And America is basically the main cause of all these separations and bare separations that are going on, because America's dollar is basically not as strong as it once was. The power of the dollar has gone down, man. There is no more power of the dollar. All these nations are separating themselves from America. That's why you got the BRIC nations and all that, man. And Russia's not even part of the beast. You know,
Yeah.
Russia's not part of the beast, but they're going to be the main cause for this beast falling, this beast system being destroyed.
hmm So it says, as the 10 toes of the feet
Oh,
were part of.
so like if I could say Hungary as well is
One of the weak ones.
yeah, but it's causing a problem
Yep.
for the nation. 'Cause I think it's Hungary. Let me just confirm that because there's
Yeah.
one EU nation that is very much aligned with Russia and is
Uh,
causing issues because they're an EU member state. Therefore, they can veto votes
yeah.
of
Look,
like
look,
when
look
they
for
want
it
to.
while he's
Yeah.
reading that.
So it says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Right, so it's partly strong and partly broken, which we're giving some examples of that right now. So that's showing you that Satan is divided against Satan. How should these kingdoms stand?
Understand? Yeah.
It should be brought to desolation. It
Yeah.
cannot stand, man. And that's showing you how the Lord's using Esau against his own damn self. Because at the end of the day, Esau's going to be fighting against Esau. Like it tells you in Isaiah 19, they're going to be Egyptian versus Egyptian. They're going to blast each other to smithereens, man, with their nuclear weapons. And America's not the only one with nuclear capabilities now. And
Yep.
America know that. So now they have to step more cautiously and more wisely to not overstep the mark. But they're going to do it anyway because, you know, America's proud. You know, Biden and all that. These guys are proud, man. They
Yeah.
can't see their way out. So they're
Yeah.
going to start, you know, they're going to keep trying to boast themselves and brag. They say they're the boss of everyone. And then Russia's going to step in, Iran's going to step in, China's going to, and then it's going to be an arms war, man.
Yeah. So so it was Hungary, and it's the Prime Minister Viktor Orban, right? And he has quite like a pro Russia stance, right? And that causes the EU problems, man. So almost like a Trojan horse,
Yeah.
you know, problem from within.
Yeah.
Okay,
Weren't Hungary you originally a part of the Soviet Union or whatever? Sure it was.
I would think so. Let me
You
just
know,
confirm that.
it was like an off branch.
Yeah.
Probably, most
And,
probably was, but
and the
you'll
Soviet
confirm.
Union is coming back strong. Ezekiel 38, keep mentioning it. Probably going to have to read it eventually because that is a major prophecy as well. But that's only going to come to pass once the MOT to the B happens, man. Because the Lord doesn't Lord's not going to jump over prophecies for another. One prophecy
Yeah.
has to be fulfilled first before he moves on to the next. So the MOT to the B has to be made mandatory. Then World War III is going to be more spicy and more intensified. And then before you know it, all you're going to hear is a nuclear bomb alert worldwide saying that this country just launched their nuclear weapons on this country, and everyone's going to be watching it televised, man. And then everyone's going to witness America burning on the fire, literally a lake of fire. Just like everyone witnessed Maui burning on fire, they're going to witness America being burned on fire, the whole of America, North America.
Yeah. And to confirm, Hungary was part of the USSR.
Yeah, originally, yeah. So that's why they're in league. So that's Russia's got a lot of allies, man. So that's why America's got to tread wisely, man. They can't just overstep anymore because Russia's got the capabilities and they're ready to use it. They've already done things that they shouldn't have done,
Yeah.
blowing up, pipelines, blowing up Crimea and all that, bridges and stuff like that, blowing up the pipelines and stuff like that. They've already overstepped the mark a few times.
Yeah.
So Putin's just basically biding his time, man, to that time where he's like, enough is enough. Then he's going to retaliate. And everyone's going to be with it, basically, because everyone's going to turn, even America's allies are going to turn against them at the end. And they're all going to burn America with fire. That's the revelations, man.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another.
Yeah, so
Even-
there's going to be disagreements. All these different leaders, Macrons and all these different guys, Medvedev and all that, even though, as I said, Russia's not part of the 10 toes, Netanyahu, all these guys, they're going to be back and forth, man.
Yeah. It says, and it's but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Yeah, so it's going to come to a clash of the titans, Satan divided against Satan, Satan being against Satan. Go ahead.
That's the main points. I got this one. Actually, no, it's an old article. I'm gonna grab something else in a second. Give me one sec.
You heard something?
No.
Hey, let me grab this real quick.
Get Ezekiel 38 if you ain't got that.
This is Ezekiel 38, unless you had a
Yeah, go on, go on.
reset. Ezekiel 38 from the top says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Yeah, and the chief prince represents who? Russia, man. And when you break that word down, Ra'ash Shah, it means chief prince, basically, in the Hebrew. So that's Russia today, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, man. You know, Gog and Magog, you know, that represents Russia today.
Mm.
And Putin is still in office as we speak, man. You know, and he's got his right-hand man, Medvedev, and all that. And they're ready to go to war with the West.
Yeah.
They're ready to declare war on the West, man. They're just biding their time right now. Because there's no rush. Because once they know that, like Albert Einstein said, you know, World War IV is going to be fought with, World War III is going to be fought with, you know, atomic weapons,
Yeah.
nuclear weapons,
Oh,
but
yeah.
World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones because it's going to be a, you know, the nuclear war is going to turn this place back into the Dark Ages, basically. The nuclear war is going to be the war to end all wars, man. The atomic war was bad enough, you know, with the Oppenheimer and all that stuff. That war was devastating. But a nuclear war is that much more devastating, man. And basically it's gonna stop time. Time's gonna stop once a nuclear war happens, man. And things are gonna definitely return to the Dark Ages.
Yep.
You know? Go ahead.
It says, verse 3, and say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Right? Because ultimately the Lord's not with these Edomites, man. The Lord's going to use the Russians, but they're still Edomites.
Yeah,
Okay?
the Lord's using, as I said, mentioned earlier, the Lord uses nations. He uses Esau to do his bidding. He uses the men of the Lord to do his bidding. The Lord don't, like, if the Lord comes down there and does it himself, you know, there's probably going to be no one left standing. So the Lord has men do it through the Spirit, through the Holy Spirit, and through the angels, you know, to make sure men do what he's commanded to do, what they're commanded to do, you know, to fulfill his will. And this is all the Lord's word playing out, basically. And we're all characters in the Lord's movie. He's the ultimate director, right?
That's it.
Even when you go into that word theos means the Heavenly Father, the Most High, basically, God. So this is a theater of war, you know. What was that Shakespeare? The earth is, what was it?
The
The world
earth
is
is
stage, and, you know.
reset. Just on that point, this is Proverbs 21:9. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Yep.
Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord Yahweh pondereth the hearts.
Yeah, that's why Putin hasn't done anything yet.
Mm.
Because, you know, the Lord's holding him back. Just like the Lord got the 4 angels holding back the
Yep,
destruction
yep,
of the
yep.
river Euphrates.
Yeah.
That's why the nations ain't gone to war yet. They're
Yeah.
all practicing, they're all doing drills. Sometimes they might clash. You know, ships might crash into each other or whatever. The armies
Yeah.
might clash, planes and all that.
Yeah.
Might have to blow a plane out the sky and all of that because it's going into different territory.
Yeah. Well,
You
funny
know?
enough, you had a Russian air bomber, like an old school air bomber
So
in British
Ukraine shut it
territory.
down and all that.
Yeah, and you had one account where it was in. You had one actually in British air
Yeah,
territory,
yeah.
and they have to scramble and send jets to basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those kind of situations can start a war because
Yeah.
basically you're pushing the button basically. You're infiltrating. You're
Testing
doing
the
what you're not
waters,
supposed to. You're testing the waters. So in any other circumstance, people will take that as an actual threat,
Mhm.
and they'll actually react with a nuclear threat.
Mhm.
But the Lord's having it where they ain't doing that yet because everything has to play out the way the Lord. That's why the Lord even has angels sometimes coming around the nuclear silos, making sure everything's working, making sure they're doing what they're doing. Sometimes they're testing nuclear weapons and all that, or getting ready to, like shoot missiles, and then the angels will come and disarm it.
Yeah.
They'll stop it from being shot off. They'll disarm the machinery, disarm the plane, so none of the mechanics and shit is working, you know. And then they have to go back to base, like basically squander their practice, man, the practice run. Because the angels are, you know, reinforcing what's going on. They're holding back the 4 winds, so they're always constantly watching, man. They're the watchmen of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Hey, you know what? I'm hearing you speak, and I'm thinking of like you know, when children they be playing with the different, like they might have the figurines, the little war figurines,
Yeah.
right? Or it's like battleship, so it's like,
G.I.
you know,
Joes and all that.
the GIs, and then I was like, no, you can't do that yet. You can't do that. But that's what the angels are doing.
Yeah,
You know,
through the Lord's commandment, man.
that's it.
Because they're the messengers of the Lord. So the Lord sends them out. He might make sure Putin ain't doing anything
much,
like he ain't doing
yeah.
too much, man. Slow him down, man. Don't make him retaliate so much. You know, calm him down. And that's what Putin's doing. Putin's ready to go to war. He's been saying it. But he hasn't done it yet. Why? Because the Lord's, as he just read, The heart of the king's heart's in the hand of the Lord, man. He turneth it wherever it so it should go. So when the Lord's ready, he gonna put the evil thought, and like he's gonna read in Ezekiel 38, in Putin's mind, and then Putin's gonna be like, you know what, fuck this.
Time.
It's time now. And
Yeah.
after that time, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
buy back the time. There's no
Yeah.
turning back, man. After those nuclear buttons are pushed, that's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Hey, sorry. I was just gonna just back that point. China basically has just sent over like dozens of warplanes to Taiwan's airspace because you had it to where the
Yeah.
Taiwan VP is meeting with America.
Yeah.
So basically, they sent those those warplanes as a warning of basically don't try and get any sort of external interference
Yeah,
into our
that's it.
affairs, man.
That's it.
The worst thing's proving to you that this man's the devil, right? Is according to U.S. law, Taiwan's a part of China.
Yeah.
So why the fuck is, excuse my French, but why the hell are they in Taiwan?
Yeah.
Under their own law, but it goes to show you that their law means nothing.
Right.
And those Americans are gonna find out that their constitution, right, means
Absolutely
nothing,
shit, yeah.
right?
Shit.
It's just words written on a paper, man. Okay,
So, showing you that America is, they enlarge of the desire as hell,
that's it.
and they can never have enough. That's why they're always constantly butting their nose in other people's business, man.
That's it.
Got nothing to do with China and Taiwan, but they're over there.
Yeah. Hey man, the Chinese media, according to the Guardian, basically launched their military drills as a stern warning. So essentially, it's a flex of muscle, basically, which is going to lead up to the destruction that's coming. Basically saying, yo, this is evidence, tangible evidence of what our air army is capable of.
Yeah.
Adhere to our policies, or we're going to blow you off the face of the earth, which is going to happen anyway,
It's
man.
gonna happen, man. Because even I always quote Isaiah 13, man, and it says that the Russians, they're not gonna regard gold nor silver, man. In that time, then the Lord said He's gonna put, a spirit on them, man. We're gonna continue reading Ezekiel 38.
Verse
No.
4, and I'll turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, which means return Russia back into that Soviet spirit.
And they're doing that right now. That's why the whole situation with the Ukraine,
Mhm.
you mentioned Hungary and all of
Yeah.
that, and then all the BRIC nations are banding together with
Yeah,
America,
yeah.
West Africa,
Yeah.
banding
The-
together with Russia. I mean, the
Mhm.
BRICS are banding together with Russia because Russia's a major counterpart in this whole war.
Yeah. Hey, the EU's put like I read it in an article earlier, like 11 rounds of sanctions against Russia. That's insane, bro.
Mhm.
And still they can't do nothing.
Do shit.
Yeah.
Russia's got a lot of gold reserves. They can't really stop them, man.
That's it. So like sanctioning your banks, like
Yeah.
going to your bank and being like, look, man, you're misbehaving. But the bank's like, but I've got your money.
Yeah,
It's like,
They got all that. They got all the oil reserves.
yeah.
They got a lot of, they got a lot of assets, man.
Yeah, assets, and plus, once again, they're aligning themselves with countries
Start dealing with them.
that
yeah.
are dealing with them and that are rich in resources,
Exactly.
right? Hey, if they try to go on the line with the Congo, look, that's when they because the Congo is an important place for these devils, man.
Mhm.
Because the Congo has a lot of rare earth minerals, which even that's a misnomer. Because I thought by rare earth, if they meant rare, it just means really hard to get.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so
Rare commodities.
rare commodities, right? So the Congo has a lot of rare earth minerals, right? It's a bread basket, if you will. You get like your cocoa from the
Yeah.
Congo and Ghana and places like
It's
that.
like the modern day vibrate. That's why the whole situation with Niger.
Yeah.
With Niger and that uranium, it's like having that
Yeah.
vibranium.
Yeah.
And then the West are coming to try and infiltrate and take it.
That's it.
They got a whole bunch of it, man.
That's
You
it.
know?
Uranium and oil.
Yeah.
They were just building a pipeline.
Sitting on it, man.
Know.
America's always known that but they still keep them impoverished.
Yeah.
Through the IMF and all that, the banks and all that, they kept them down low because even though they're sitting on all that
Check.
wealth and all those resources, they make sure that they don't benefit from it, man.
Which is why that's why they were pissed off that their leader got taken out.
Yeah.
You know?
And even now with the situation with Ghana, I think they're trying to with the ABC people, they're trying to come and fight back a bit against that as well now.
Yeah.
They're fighting against that ABC, democracy movement of
Yeah,
America, and America's trying to, come out with more sanctions and all that.
Yeah.
That's what America do, because they're
Yeah.
bitch hurt, man.
But it's also though in a lot of these states, there may be states where on a state level it's legal, but the police don't enforce them laws. If one of them people get dealt with, I forgot which nation it was, but basically someone was getting dealt with, and the police just kind of looked and like, cool, and you see, carried on.
Yeah, it be like that.
You
It
know?
does get like that. It really does get like that in some of these states.
Yeah. So it says, I'll turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields.
Yeah,
All
so everyone's coming with their weaponry. America's gonna have a case on their hands, man.
Yep.
The biggest case that they're ever gonna face,
Yep.
man, because they're gonna have all these armies facing them and shooting and basically targeting them and targeting all their arrows towards their fucking
That's
army
it.
bases and shit like that, man.
Yeah.
If I can say as well, that's why the what's happening over there in the Ukraine is happening as well, because they're testing out their weapons.
Yeah.
Right. This is a testing ground for all of them. Right. And once again, the world is watching. The world is watching American-made weapons not doing the job, man. Right. The Patriot missile system is shit. Right?
You're right.
Basically, it's like you got air defense that only works in the direction you point it at. Like what? You see what I'm saying? So all
Yeah.
of these nations right now, they're going in there, they're testing all of their high-end, missiles,
Ammunition,
munitions, because they've not been battle tested before.
So,
And that's what this devil does. You look back into that documentary, which I'll be surprised you can still find it on YouTube, but
Yeah, 'cause
maybe on
those-
Rumble or something. But at the Panama Deception,
Mm.
and they were talking about laser weapons back then.
Yep.
And just like what's happening in Maui, the American government tried to say from the jump, only 200 people died. The
they're
locals,
liars, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
the locals were like
Thousands.
20,000. Just
Yeah.
like how in Maui right now, the locals are saying thousands are dead.
And they made sure that the people that wanted to report couldn't get access.
Exactly.
If they tried to report on the situation, they were going to get arrested.
Yep.
Why? Because a lot of people know that it wasn't no original wildfires, man.
That's it.
They're using that fucking energy,
And
Pushing
Pushing a
weapons,
narrative,
man.
man.
and they actually witnessed it themselves, man.
which that means Esau's winning on two levels, right? Because on the one hand, he gets to steal the land.
Mhm.
Well, one, he gets to do a blood sacrifice, which any chance to do one of those.
Yeah.
Two, right, he gets to get the land that he's been coveting after.
Mhm.
And three, he can blame it on climate change.
Mhm.
Devil.
So it
Yeah.
says,
Yeah.
yep. So it says, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so all these nations, the Iranians, as I just mentioned, Iran wants to join the BRICS. Why is that? Because it's fulfilling a prophecy. Libya was talking about Russia helping them as well, not too long ago.
Mhm.
Ethiopia is going to get up in there.
Yeah.
So, this is what's happening. Ethiopia represents, Africa,
And if that don't boost
North
your faith,
Africa, West Africa. So they're dealing, man.
Yeah.
Russia's dealing major right now. So they're building they're reinforcing their armaments
Yeah.
strong, man.
Yeah. Because in the Hebrew there for Ethiopia, it's Cush. When
Yeah.
you look on the ancient map, it's that basically that eastern section,
Yeah.
basically more or
North
less.
Africa, innit?
Yeah.
Like push. But then you got West Africa that's
Exactly.
right underneath.
Yeah.
So they're all fucking with me like they're all messing with Russia.
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. So this is all prophecy that's coming to pass, and if that's happening, what else is going to happen? That means
Yeah.
the rest of the prophecy is going to have to happen,
100%.
which means nuclear war's coming.
Yeah. Which is why once again the scriptures say, watch and pray.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're not watching these things happen, like for instance, I said that guy in the store, he was like, yeah, man, we're not going to go fully cashless in our lifetime. It was a little young man, like maybe early 20s and that.
Mhm.
And he said, not in our lifetime. I was like, wait, you think it's not going to go cashless within the next 60 years? Like,
Darkness.
where-
Darkness
where-
will cover the earth.
but that's someone who's not watching. That's someone who's not paying attention. Ultimately, someone who's not chosen to see anyway. But just goes to show when you watch, right, these prophecies come to life, and you're like, oh man, that's being fulfilled, right,
Yeah.
right before your eyes, and it fills you with joy and
It's
excitement.
supposed to boost your
It boosts your
faith.
faith, that's
Yeah.
And you can see those literal countries that are named. Like that's why like when the Lord is precise.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Those specific countries are actually right now in real time. You can actually go on YouTube and look up news articles of those
Yeah.
specific countries
Yeah.
actually siding with Russia.
That's why no other book can contest with the scriptures, man. And these devils know it. There's no other book that can contend with the scriptures. I mean, I was watching the auctioning program the other day, and it was
Cash in the attic.
no, it was on Blaze.
Oh, okay.
And basically, one guy one Edomite devil came in with a 1588 Geneva Bible, man, and tried to sell it basically.
Mm.
And the guy said, no, I can't buy it. It's not worth anything.
What?
Chatting shit basically, but it was worth.
1588.
Yeah, it was worth something, but he basically didn't want to buy it. He's saying I won't be able to sell it and all that. But it was a 1588 Geneva Bible, man.
Right.
And it was,
Wow.
that was just before the 1611 King James. So these devils know that, and that was a small hat rat that had the book. Said it was given to him as a gift from his grandparents or whatever. Big ass fucking, ain't like dark, like medieval type book, you know. But that's showing that these devils know that the scriptures hold that power, man. But it's not for them. It's not for the wicked, man. It's only for the children of Israel, the saints of the Most High, man. They're the only ones that's reserved to understand this, to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Not even just all Israel, but the elect. For now, that's how treasured and more special this truth is, man. And everyone knows that the Bible is the truth. The Quran is not the truth, man. The Quran is a book of fairy tales. All these other books, they don't come near what the scriptures do. And these words was written thousands of years prehistory, and it's mentioning what's happening right now.
Hey, you got that song, nothing compares to these scriptures. Isaiah 34:16, seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. None of these shall fail, none shall want a mate. For my mouth hath commanded, and his spirit hath gathered them.
Even during the time of Yahweh Shai, like you will actually read accounts of Yahweh Shai's specific actions that he did, just like to fulfill prophecies that were even smaller scale prophecies within the scriptures. Like even on the way here, we was doing that video in regards to Isaac, King Solomon, Yahweh Shai. Like even the foreshadowing of who Yahweh Shai was going to be in the different incarnations. All of that was detailed from the beginning of time, specifically every single detail and thought. Like basically, we're in a movie where the script's already been finalized to the most minute detail, man, and we're just playing it out.
The Bible deals with perfection, man. That's why it talks about striving for the masteries. Because this book is perfect, man. There's no contradictions. There's no complications. There's no. It's only a stumbling block onto the ones that the Lord doesn't want to understand it. Because the scriptures are really simple to understand once you understand if the Lord's dealing with you and supping with you. It's very simple to understand, especially the last major prophecies. You still got guys straining at that, over the MOT to the B being the chip, when you can blatantly see how everything is playing out right now before your eyes, man. News articles in and out, day in and day out, come and talk about this new technology, the wave of AI technology taking over, biometrics taking over, and Jake still can't see it. But that just shows you that, the Lord's got 2/3 of Jake in gross darkness, man, and he doesn't want him to get this truth. That's part of the stuff. That's part of the truth as well. The Lord said that in these last days, there's going to be scorners and scoffers. That's not going to believe. Even though they're going to witness things happening right before them, they're still going to scorn and scoff.
I just got a precept for what you brought out earlier. This is 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. So these scriptures are a guide unto us, and ultimately, like the scripture speaks about the wisdom of a man causing his face to shine. You can almost look in the face of these average people out here outside of the Akim, and you can see that these people are dead in the spirit. They have no life about them, and they're literally just walking pieces of fleshly charcoal, just waiting to be burnt.
They're spiritually dead, man.
Yeah,
the walking dead.
Yeah,
that's why it talks about being in the zombie state. The walking dead. The congregation of the dead. And even to add to what you just said, talking about the wisdom making for man's head to light to shine. The other part of that, it says that if there's no light in him, it's because there's no, because the Lord's not dealing with him. Isaiah 8:20. If they don't speak according to this knowledge, it's because the light of the Lord is not in them. So there's a lot of guys that's walking around acting like they're men of the Lord, but really they ain't got the light, man. The Lord's not dealing with them fully. They haven't ate the whole roll. You got the five wives that was wise and the 5 that were foolish. And they're part of the foolish, man.
That's it. So continuing on. Ezekiel 38:6, Gomer, which is Turkey, which even to this day I still remember it, man. Was because before when first Lord first brought me into this truth, when I was hearing Turkey's going to be one of them nations that'll be allied with Russia, it was hard to imagine. Why? Because Turkey was very much aligned with America, right? But then it was all in one night. It was in one night when there was a failed coup in Turkey, man. And then after that,
also the Suez Canal.
And
all the disruptions with that as well. All the, the barrage with that. stopping the trade from coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You know, and then basically after that, Turkey started becoming more and more aligned with Russia, man. Right to the end now, is one which we're speaking about the 10 toes, right? Because you've got Hungary, which is in the EU, but the prime minister is like Russia aligned. But then you've got Turkey, which isn't in the new EU, but is in NATO, but is Russian aligned, right? So it's just how basically the whole
Yeah.
thing is being
The
played
whole
out before
dynamic.
our eyes, man.
Yeah.
Right, and Turkey being Russia aligned, but also in NATO creates big problems, man.
100%.
Which is why NATO basically threatened Turkey when Turkey said they were going to get the S-400 air defense systems, right? Because basically something to the effect of they wanted to sell Turkey the F-35s, but then your air defense systems kind of have to know which are friends and what's a friend and what's a foe. So basically, if you've got the air defense system, which Russia ultimately controls, knowing what your stealth fighter jet looks like, that's not good.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
It's all chess, man. It's all chess. And the Lord, as the scripture said, Isaiah 13, we might forget that chapter as well.
Yeah.
The Lord mustereth the host of the battle, man.
Yeah.
He's the one compiling all these armies, bringing them together, making allies turn against each other, friends and foes, so to speak. He's bringing up the opposing forces, man. Because the Lord wants to see a fight. Scripture says that the Heavenly Father is a man of war.
That's it.
So just think of the Heavenly Father playing with a big chessboard, and all the chess pieces are different countries. With their flags, and the Lord's moving them wherever so He will.
Like in them war rooms, man. Like them older shows where it will show you like the leader or whatever, or the king has a big map. And it's like you're moving this piece
The armies,
there,
that's how it is. The Lord's moving whoever we are making this king do this, or making this general do this move here, attack this, do that.
Yeah.
That's what the Lord's controlling everything, man. The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Sure.
Esau thinks he's ruling, man. He's gonna find out that he's got the short end of the stick when the Lord of Yahweh Shai returns, man. That he ain't been ruling shit.
Yeah,
You've been controlled this whole time. You thought you was ruling the whole thing, and you had control because you had a little technology. The Lord was ruling you the whole time, man. That's why Scripture talk about is he a power that hideth himself, man? Because the Lord's always been in control. Just because you don't see the Heavenly Father doesn't mean he's not there.
That's it. Hey, you got that saying, the house always wins, man. And this is the Most High's house.
Exactly.
You go to the casino. Yeah, you go to the casino, you deal with the cashier. You think you're just dealing with the cashier, but there's the one above the cashier.
There's the cameras watching your ass.
That's it. The house always wins, man.
Yeah, that's it. And sometimes they might even make it where they fuck you up and during the game. They'll do. They might cheat, so to speak, as they call it, so they always win.
Yeah.
And you end up losing. Whether it's magnets or whatever, or funny dice or whatever it is, like but the house always wins. It's true.
Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Yeah. So anything that happens on this earth, the Lord has to sanction it, man. That's why I was going to go into Zephaniah 3 and 5 about the Lord bringing His judgment to light every day, and then underneath that it talks about the Lord turning the lands to waste. Like over there in Little Maui, that's what happened. The Lord turned that land into waste. Ultimately, that's talking about the whole of America when it gets hit with the nuclear missiles. It's gonna be cut off forever, man. It's gonna be totally desert-like, desolate. It's gonna be even a worse condition that Maui is done right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna look 10 times worse.
Which it's like, if I could say, which the whole Hawaii thing in America, Hawaii being a part of America, just proves the precept in Habakkuk, neither keepeth at home. Right? Because you spin the globe to the Pacific, and there's no land. There's basically no land, right? But then you got these little dots in the middle, which is Hawaii, and America's like, those are ours. It's like, what? Neither keepeth at home, man.
Never.
Which is why you had that woman, man. She was like, look, you came and you forced us to learn your language. You forced us to do of your ways.
And you stole other people's lands too.
That's it.
Came and stole other people's lands, took it onto yourself. That's in Micah too.
Yeah, because that's Japheth, man.
So it says Gomer, Ezekiel 38:6, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee.
So it says many people with these. So the company, Russia's got a major company, man, meaning they've got a vast number of nations that are dealing with them. That's why it makes sense that they have the BRICS. This is like their own version of NATO.
Mhm.
Even though it's smaller and all that. Like NATO's got what, 28 members and all that, something like that. But BRICS is only like what, 5, 6 members, but they're growing. They're
Mhm.
growing exponentially,
Yeah.
man. They're getting more and more members wanting to join. So that shows you that they're gonna have a great company
Yeah.
as well.
It's because this is it. You've got what, BRICS and BRICS aligned, right?
Yeah, man.
Just because just in the same way you've got nations that are NATO slash and also EU, but then NATO and EU aligned nations as well. Just like how just until this year Finland wasn't
Right, mate.
NATO, but they were NATO aligned.
Right.
You know, if NATO wanted to move a certain way, they would back it. Not back it as in like go militarily,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't be against it per se.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas now, right, you're having the same thing, right, with the BRICS, which primarily an economic arrangement, but you can see that it's going to become a military arrangement as well. Okay, which is why they're maneuvering in the way that they are.
Yep.
Right. Because let's
So
be
they-
real,
yeah. Yeah.
so like although there are nations that are in NATO but not in EU, there's a high overlap of the two, right? Nations that are both in EU and in NATO.
That just shows you that America's like the whole setup with NATO and the EU is all confusion, man.
Yep.
It's all confusion. That's why it's not going to stand.
That's it. Okay, I've got more.
No,
Okay. So verse 8 and 9, and then we'll there's 3 more verses on it. If it's quick. Okay. It says, and after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword. Right? It says, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of it. Right? Brought back from the sword, because America's never been attacked, man. Right?
You're going to the land of unwalled villages.
That's it. You know, since shall dwell safely, so the real Israelites, you know, will eventually go back into our land and dwell there in peace, right?
Yeah.
Not so, you know, Jakes are telling you to go there now. They're going off, man, because the Lord, that land of Israel is going to be nuked too.
It's got to be neutralized first.
You know,
Got to be neutralized with the weapons, man, because you got a lot of defilement going on over
Yeah.
there. Tel Aviv and all these ABC people over there, they totally defiled that land. So the Lord got to cleanse that land
He's
first.
so
You got to
right.
neutralize it, cleanse it first before the real inhabitants go back over there, and we enjoy the land as it was meant to be enjoyed.
Mm.
That's when the land's going to go back to being the Garden of Eden again. 'Cause
Yeah.
The Garden of Eden was planted over there in the land eastward. It was over there in Israel, man. What they call Mesopotamia, that area, the land of Israel. That was the Garden of Eden, man. That's always been the Lord's favorite land. When Abraham was going through from Ur the Chaldees, he went through that land. He went through the land of Canaan.
Yeah.
That's the land that he gave unto our forefathers, man. He promised our forefathers that we were going to inherit. You know, so that's always been the Lord's favorite land, pleasant land.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to it. That Garden of Eden, man, it's going to be more, even better than the Garden of Eden for the first time. That's what the scripture says, man. It's
yeah.
going to be beautified.
Because I was gonna say, man, I was just when you was talking, I was thinking about, I don't know what the technique is called, but like to basically in stadiums you've got like seats that are a certain type of way, they're really hard plastic. Now to clean them, they basically do this thing where they basically blow it, man, with fire. Right, you use like a blowtorch and they'll blow it with fire, and then they become basically good as new.
Mhm.
Right, and that's what the Lord is gonna do to the land of Israel, man.
We've got to cleanse it, man.
You know, it needs to be cleansed.
Yeah, I've got this. This is
Even Apocalypse said that in the X-Men when he was watching the TV screen, and he was like, yeah, these people need to be cleansed, man.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see that clip you put up,
yeah.
Magneto and that.
Yeah.
It's true,
This
man.
is Second Ezra 5:24, and of all the lands of the people, it's like it, and of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily.
Yeah, one pit. That pit was talking about the land of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Lord's favorite piece of land on the earth, the whole earth that He created, man.
Yeah.
And back in the ancient world, the whole earth was called Aidan. But then he said he planted a garden eastward in Eden,
Yeah.
which is talking about that pleasant
Yeah.
land, that pit.
Because even with Esau and rulership, if I can say, there are still some beautiful last places on this earth, man.
Well, they said there's still unknown territories, and
Exactly, yeah.
China said they just found different lands like some Jurassic Park type shit. Like they're literally trying to say that they're trying to basically genetically modify and create dinosaurs again, over there in different parts of China. But they said they came across unknown territory like King Kong Skull Island type shit, lands where there's basically still dinosaurs and all that. Basically like some lands that's beyond the Bermuda Triangle type. And they're saying that they found some lands that Esau hasn't explored yet.
Yeah.
Like the whole Amazon still hasn't been fully explored.
Exactly.
There's parts and different parts of the Amazon because it's so vast and big. But you would think Esau's probably covered that territory already. But every time they've tried to do it, a lot of guys come up missing, man.
Yeah.
They don't make it out. A lot of guys have tried to go in there, throughout the ages, trying to explore the whole Amazon, and they don't make it out alive. I wonder why.
Which it says bounds, man. Bounds that you cannot pass.
Yeah.
And
And the law said you can't search out everything anyway.
Exactly, because it ain't for you to search out and know everything.
So there's
Right.
definitely lands on the earth that this devil hasn't fucking fully
Yeah.
explored.
Yeah,
He hasn't explored the
exactly.
whole sea.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't.
Ask them people next to the Titanic right now.
Who
You
said?
know? But yeah, the reason I'm saying, even with Esau and rulership destroying every damn thing, there are still some beautiful places on this planet, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so now imagine when everything is righteous. Fucking hell, even got women doing Amazon. Fucking hell.
Yeah, right, driving vans and all that, man.
Yeah.
See women driving construction vans and all that.
Yeah, that's a sign this place is done, man.
This place is fully
You know.
fully done, man. What women trying to do manual labours and all that, like it don't make no sense, man.
True.
Women are just not capable of doing that.
Yeah.
They're not made to do manual labour type jobs like construction work and all that. That's not good for women to do.
Worse yet, they shouldn't be. It's like,
Hell no.
it should just be a thing where they're just chilling.
That shit, that's like
thing as well. Fucking
that's
hell,
like,
place is done.
that shit is long gone now. Women don't even want to know about being a housewife anymore, man. Being a housewife is ancient history now.
Hey man, I got just on that the old Native American saying, "Only white man dumb enough." It says, "Where white man went wrong, Indian chief two eagles." When asked about a white U.S. government official, you have observed the white man for 90 years. You have seen his wars and technological advances, his progress, and the damage he does. The chief nodded in agreement. Considering all these events, in your opinion, where did the white man go wrong? The chief two eagles stared at a government official and replied, "When white man find land, Indians running it, no tax, no debt, plenty buffalo, plenty beaver, clean water. Women did all work, medicine man free. Indian man spent all day hunting, fishing, and all night having sex. Only white man dumb enough to think you can approve system like that." And it's true.
It was perfect, man.
It was a perfect system.
Yeah.
And you know how Jake, everything,
Yeah.
even though they started going off after a while, but Jake, they're innovators, man.
Innovators,
Anywhere
yeah.
we go, we create shit. That's why when Jake fled into the interiors of West Africa, we took over, man.
Yeah. And,
We
and
started building up societies. We built Nigeria and Ghana the way it is, man. We made those people, made those lands more fruitful, so to speak.
Mhm.
You know?
And if I can say as well, we observe things because there's an important reason why they mentioned beaver there, right? Because beavers they're actually incredibly important to ecosystems, right? But what did Esau do when he came to the Americas? He killed them, man, and he killed loads of them. Now beavers, right? They say those are the ones that make dams, right? Yeah. So I just need before I chat the rubbish at the camera, right? But with beavers. You got humans in terms of how they change an environment, and in the animal world, the next one is beavers, right? Because basically, when beavers are making them dams, what they're actually doing is creating things that help other life forms to grow, right? When they're making them little dams, they're creating pools. It helps prevent flooding, right? Like I said, it helps other animals to flourish and stuff like that because they're in a nice, enclosed system of their own. Right, so the Most High made everything in its perfection, but once again, he comes along and he's like, "Oh, I can make money and hat from this." Kills them all off, then the ecosystem starts dying off, man.
right?
He's the devil,
He
man.
is the
That's what you
devil.
know. And you can't trust this devil.
Yeah,
Even going back to Mount Rushmore, when they first made the statues of Mount Rushmore with the 4 presidents, originally there was supposed to be 2 Native American Indians that were supposed to be sculpted there, man. But Esau changed his mind. There was supposed to be like 2 Edomites there and 2 Native Americans put on Mount Rushmore. But Esau at the end changed his mind. Then he put up the 4 presidents that you see there at Mount Rushmore today. God, Esau knows that that land belonged to them. He came there and infiltrated their land. He stole that land from the Native Americans, man, and the indigenous tribes, man. And he didn't made no account for their labors, man.
So
You know. So this devil knows that he's done treacherous, man. He's ill-gotten gains, you know, and he knows he's got to pay for it, but he thinks he's not going to. But you're gonna pay, man, because you're guilty as charged, man. In the scriptures, Zechariah 11:5, you know, you devils can't be trusted, man. We were speaking earlier about this bitch Lucy Letby, you know, the baby killer, you know, the nurse that was killing babies in the hospital, man. That demon, you can't trust these devils with nothing, man. You'd think they're harmless and all of that, but behind closed doors, they're treacherous, evil, demented beings, man. The spirit that's in them's not upright.
that's good.
Now they're just killing your babies without you even knowing. You give them your baby, put your baby in their arms, thinking that your baby's safe, and then they're out there trying to murder your baby, man.
And that's why what do you call it? Esau has centralized knowledge so much, man. Because you think about in the ancient world, man, you had midwives, women that would know what how to help deliver a baby, man.
Yeah.
Whereas now most people, we've got no choice but to go to the hospital. Obviously, nowadays, it's children may have complications. We're not talking about that, but just even the whole fact of just birthing a baby, man. Even when I was in Zimbabwe, just before the whole CV, man, right? You had women over there that didn't. I was shocked. I was like, wait,
Westernized.
westernization, man, and that's just what happens. That knowledge gets taken by the few, and then now you got no choice but to go to this devil, man.
And they do the wrong procedures as well. Like have a
Exactly.
woman laying on her back, all in pain and all that,
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
all kind of pain relievers and all that shit. And then on top of that, when the baby pops out, they're sticking him with all kind of syringes.
Yeah.
Then as the baby grows, you got ADHD, all these different complications of fucking bipolar and all that. Why do you think, man? Because you plugged him up with all kind of fucking chemicals in his body from birth, man.
Yeah.
And also, I forget which Latin American country it was. I think it was Brazil, where It was certainly one of those Latin American countries where everything basically there was a higher proportion of C-sections, man. Right? Because and then you look into it, it's because it was something to do with basically money, effectively. But then the problem with a C-section is then the mother doesn't do the thing that she's supposed to do at that point, which is to bond with the baby, right? Because then she needs to heal this, that, and the other. Whereas a C-section, the baby gets taken, the woman gets sewn back up and shit like that,
Man,
right?
You can't trust these damn forgers of lies,
Positions of
positions of no value, man. Because these devils, man, like Job said, he wouldn't even let them lay with his dogs.
Yeah, no, you're trusting
Because
them
they're
with your
vile,
life.
man. You're trusting them with your child's life and end up dead. Like this bitch Lucy, she killed 3 triplets, man. 3 healthy babies end up dead, in the hands of this devil, man. And she just like she did it like there was no care in the world. She looked like she didn't have no ounce of remorse for what she did. That's the devil for you, man.
Yeah,
But these are the same people we're supposed to trust. These cave monkeys, man. I was even watching a new Netflix program, Painkiller, regarding the OxyContin, man. OxyContin and all that epidemic that took over America, man. All because Esau wanted to make money.
Yeah.
It was like heroin in a fucking in pill form, man. And those people were catching, those going crazy over that shit. It was killing people, it was rioting, it was losing their minds, man.
Yeah.
And it's still to this day, that devil and their family, they ain't been reprimanded for what they did.
Purdue family, man.
The Purdue and all that, they ain't been reprimanded for what they did. They got basically slap on the wrist.
Yep.
And that's what always happens with these devils. No justice is ever served with these devils. He killed thousands of people with that fucking OxyContin thing. It was like up to 300,000 people died in America. And this devil only got a fucking basically had to give up his company after a while.
Yeah.
And all that
to keep his riches.
Yeah, he kept his money, he kept his wealth. All he got was like a little slap on the wrist, man.
Yeah.
No jail time, nothing, man. And that's what these devils do. They support their own, man. It's so corrupt. And a nigger woman had to find it out the hard way. She was trying to basically through the FBI trying to find a way to take him down. Then she found out that even her own bosses was down with the whole program, and then he got out with the deal by a fucking
They're
financial
all in
agreement.
cahoots, man.
They're all in cahoots, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're all in cahoots, man. And that they first started, they're fucking they're basically the trial started in Puerto Rico with the women in Puerto Rico. He was poisoning them women over there, pregnant women and all that, making them take that fucking OxyContin, and they was getting suffering from that shit. Then they brought it to the rest of the people over there in America. So you can see how this devil over time, you can't trust this devil, man. These devils are sadistic, man. They're sick in the head. And it's all for the love of the money, man. That's why it talks about the love of money. Not money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil, man. Look what this devil will do. He'll kill over 300,000 people just because of a paycheck, man.
Yeah. So,
Painkiller.
Slug, I was just gonna say, but then this same devil will have the nerve to say, "Oh, look at these African leaders; they're so corrupt." Hey, look at your system.
Why are they corrupt?
Why
They're corrupt because they're following your guidance, man.
Well, they
They're
are
following after you. They're wandering after the beast. It tells you that in Revelation. All these nations wandered after the beast. Why do you think they're all wearing suits and ties and trying to build skyscrapers and look like the different version of America?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, but then also you get some that are you straight up. You know, that's
Yeah,
why
the
they've been
shills.
set up, man,
The
by
shills,
you,
man.
and they can't do anything because this is which, you know, I said I speak as a man when I say this, but that's why I believe the deaths of Saddam and the deaths of Gaddafi was so publicized, man. So so that to the other leaders saying to their other shills that
Man.
to just be like, look, it don't
course.
get any ideas. This is what I mean, because what they did to Gaddafi was brutal, man.
Yeah, bro, 100%, of
Of course,
bro,
man.
like,
That's what they do, man. They don't care about life. Look what they did to fucking all those people in Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
Esau doesn't care about people's life. He says his largest desires hell and is as death.
yeah,
He has his death. He moves around like he's the Grim Reaper, man.
yeah,
He loves spilling blood,
Yeah.
children's blood, all of that. They don't give a fuck, man.
yeah.
You think these Rothschilds and all that are shedding a tear when they find out 1,000 babies have been put to death? They ain't
Yeah.
shedding no fucking tears. They're drinking more fucking blood
Yeah,
and celebrating, man.
yeah.
The hell you think people think these devils are doing at night, man? They're set. When the Twin Towers went down, the Rothschilds was chilling in the other building, watching it, drinking tea, watching the building collapse, man. Weren't thousands of people inside that building?
Yeah.
Jumping
Yeah.
out the building, so they're watching people jump out the fucking building,
Mm.
thousands of feet up in the air. They don't give a fuck, man,
Yeah.
about life.
They've always had that kind of nature about them, even going back to during the time of the Romans, man, the whole practice of crucifixion.
Nero
was
and all that.
Yeah,
Look
the
what
whole-
Nero did.
Yeah.
Burnt down the temple and then blamed it on Jake. Jake was getting persecuted,
Yeah.
getting torn up. Look at Herod, man.
Yeah,
Herod sent out a decree, kill all the babies under the age of 2 years old
Mhm.
because he wanted to kill Yahweh Shai.
Oh,
Esau
yeah,
does
yeah,
have
yeah,
no
yeah.
regard for life, man.
yeah.
Thousands just to get
And
one.
and they've always been about making examples out of the rebellious ones, man. Even going back to slavery as well. Like look, you take accounts of Nat Turner,
Heartless, man.
but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, these devils are heartless creatures, man. That's why we got to deal with them the way we got to deal with them. Just like this bitch Lucy left me, killed all those innocent babies, man. Those babies didn't do nothing to her. She just took their life because she hated them.
Mhm.
She actually written her notes and that I hate them and all that. I hate you. I did this and all that in bold capitals, man.
Mhm.
And then. So what do you think? Psalms 137 is going to come into play.
I
We're
got
going to
that,
take
I
your
got that, yeah.
babies and we're going to treat them how you treated our babies, man.
That's it.
We're going to return the favor.
Yeah.
And then some, man. The hell you think? These devils are cold-blooded, man.
Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. You said, race it, even to the foundation thereof.
Which now that's RASE, meaning to destroy it, even to the foundation thereof.
Basically, leave no trail, man. Take them off the face of the earth, basically. All
These
doors
devils got to pay, man. All the shit that these devils have done, they're going to pay, man. There's no way they're getting off scot-free. Ain't no way, man. Not one Edomite's going to survive, man. Or no, not survive, but one Edomite's going to get an ounce of mercy.
Oh,
These brothers even said even on the Sabbath, they're going to make sure Esau goes on a fast. You ain't getting no food, nothing, man. You gonna mortify your members even on the Sabbath day. You gonna starve, man. And even if you die in that time, that's it. That's your judgment. Or on the Sabbath day, we gonna starve you, even though we can't kick your ass. We can find other means. to make sure you suffer,
The
man.
house shall meditate terror, man. That's the
Right, you
creative, man.
devils are gonna like the things that you've done. Even Apostle of the Tower was saying, apostles were saying, the things that you've done that's been written of, and the things that you have done that we haven't been written of. There's so much things that you've done to us as a people that haven't been recorded, haven't been written of, man, or that we don't know. But the only person that knows is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because he sees everything. So you're gonna pay for all of that, man. That's
Yeah.
why I said that the Lord said He requires that which is past. You gotta pay for all your crimes, all the blood that you spilled.
Yeah.
That bitch Lucy left me, basically got into jail, acting like she with no care in the world. She's gonna suffer. She even makes it to the kingdom. She's gonna feel pain, man, like never before. She's gonna get put through the fucking ringer, man. We gonna make sure of that, because that bitch, she's a demon, man.
Yeah.
And she ain't the only one. They're acting like this is only one person at the NHS that's done that.
Yep.
All them devils do that shit, man. The scripture says none that do it good, man.
Good.
They're all corrupt, man. If one's capable of doing it, how would you think the rest are capable of doing it? And the doctors and that, the organization, they're down with it anyway.
Yeah.
The pharmacia organization is all witchcraft anyway, man.
No, they keep pushing that the medical terms, ADHD, PTSD, and they know that the injections that they've been given to those children at birth are causing all sorts of issues, man.
Those doctors and nurses don't really give a shit. That organization, the NHS, don't really give a shit about people's lives. It's money, man. It's a monetary, it's a
National Health
money
Service.
exchange, man.
Yep.
They get money for operations and all these different schemes that they're doing. It's money about that they care about. They don't give a fuck about the patient's lives.
And this is it. They know people are gonna die. So it's as
They
long
want people to die.
yeah,
Look at the whole COVID
exactly,
thing.
Exactly.
They was down with it. They was making up the numbers. They was making up the numbers. They was saying, all these people are in emergency, and they wouldn't even know people in emergency like that.
Yeah.
You know, they was making up the numbers, making up things and all that,
Correcting
the
up these
statistics
fake
and all that,
hospitals.
racking up, making people be fearful, all the fear mongering. Oh, you got to wear your mask, all that fucking,
Yeah, but to show you it was all BS, right? Is because I don't know if it is still now, but certainly at certain times of this year, excess death in the UK has been higher than during that period of time. Yet we haven't got the Prime Minister every single day going, today's numbers are X, Y, and Z.
no, they're just sweeping
You
it under
know,
the rug now.
sweeping it under the rug because people are going to be like, but wait there.
But they've done the damage.
They've done the damage, right? And then that damage now continues damage because what's really causing those deaths now, right?
These devils knew what they was doing, man. And all these organizations, the NHS, they're all part of it, man. They ain't no fucking good NHS, man, and all that bullshit, man. If one devil was able to kill a baby like that so heartlessly and cold-blooded, the rest of them will do the same fucking thing, man.
But for instance, in the video I was doing, right, it was going into how basically if you're a Jake, your child is more likely to die.
Oh yeah, bro.
Of course, man. Especially your nigga woman.
Yeah.
They gonna kill your baby, man. They don't want you to repopulate the earth. They don't want Jake to repopulate, man.
That's what Pharaoh said in Genesis.
Exactly.
You know, it's like killing the babies. So they start in the womb.
Exodus, you mean?
It's like Exodus, yes, the order. Right? They either indoctrinate you so that you yourself do it in the womb, but if you want to bring it to term, they do it for you, man. Either by way of those injections or at that point, man, at the point of birth.
Why would you put your trust in this devil and anything that he promotes, man? You made people take that fucking jump shot, and now all those people are dropping dead, man. All kind of ages, young to old, man. Another 17-year-old just dropped dead the other day. 18-year-old, 24-year-old athletes. Most of them are athletes as well. Just dropping dead.
Pilots. There's been
that pilot bitch, she dropped dead in the toilet, man. In the cabin. She's up there in the air flying. Next minute, she's dead in the toilet.
There's been like 4 or 5 collapses of pilots in the last 2 weeks.
There you go, man. Because that heart shit is serious. Your heart is serious, man. That's the most precious muscle in the body. Your heart, man. That collapses, you're done, man. How can you be 17, 18 years old and having a heart attack or cardiac arrest? That's fucked, man. What kind of disease have you got? But why? Because everyone's taking that serpent's juice.
Got one more now, bro?
Yeah.
And I've got something after you.
So it says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone.
So that bitch Lucy, man, if she even has kids in the kingdom, which we're probably going to make her do anyway, they're going to have breeding farms and make them multiply their children. So for the sword, as the scripture says, their children be multiplied as for the sword. And we're going to take her kids right in front of her face and smash them against the wall, man. See how she likes it, man. You're just out here just killing babies mercilessly, man. And then we're gonna write about it too. Say, yeah, this is Lucy Bacon. It says in Malachi or Malachi 1:4 that Jacob have I loved, but Esau Malachi 1:2. Esau have I hated. We're gonna write that in bold capitals, man. You fucking devils, man. We're gonna return the favor. You devils deserve it though, man. I'm sorry, man. These devils deserve these devils deserve hell for what they've done, man. Like I can't express the amount. Like the Lord's gonna put a cold spirit on us, man. Like you see how Esau's so cold-hearted, and he just does fuckery. Like he'll just kill anyone. He'll kill someone in front of you and act like he ain't done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna be like that on steroids, man. We're gonna be so heartless to you, devils. In the kingdom, we're just gonna see you, and this
No, but
our eyes are just gonna go red, bro.
No, but bro, even with the CV thing, when Boris was getting questioned, there was one woman that was like, I couldn't even see my fucking dead grandnan, and you was out there partying, and he was like,
Yeah.
oh well, but you know,
Yeah, Boris bought in the case of beers in the suitcase.
bro,
Talk about we're here to party. While people are
Bro.
dying. People
Yeah.
are literally dying,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, 100%. Bro, a woman actually legitimately asked him, like, my nan died in the hospital while you were partying. How do you feel about that? And he was understanding. Well, you know,
Lettering into you.
technically,
Yeah. But that's why one of the worst places to go is into them hospitals, man.
Yeah, that's
You can-
it's a death camp, man.
If you
There's
can
a death
avoid
camp.
it. You can avoid it, you know.
That's like a
as
last-
much as possible. Yeah.
Last means of defense, kind of
Yeah.
like last resort type.
Last resort.
Like, 'cause
for
brothers
real.
hate hospitals, man. Brothers don't want to go to no down.
Yeah.
You got morgues in there, like that. The place is demonic,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
When you
yeah.
walk in there, you can feel the spirits in
It
there.
ain't right.
People are bugged out. You walking past people that all got demons on them.
It's got that
Screaming
funny
out.
smell, that
Brother,
sterile smell.
Yeah, all that medicine and all these different
Yeah,
chemicals.
yeah.
I walk past people, they're just bugged out. One's, screaming, all that.
Yeah.
People smoking. How are you smoking outside of a hospital? That's how you know people are bugged out. You come outside of the hospital to
That's
smoke.
it.
Don't you know people in the hospital because they smoke, they got cancer and all these dying. You're out there side of the hospital, right in front of the door, smoking a cigarette.
Oh, then you even have the doctors smoking.
Yeah,
It's
degenerates, man. It just defeats the purpose. Like, why are you
Yeah,
even
no.
at the hospital if you don't care about health?
That's it.
You should be there saying, don't smoke at the hospital. Outside saying you can't smoke here. It's hazardous to people's health.
Yeah.
You got people puffing all day outside the front doors and shit. Patients, doctors, nurses alike.
Yeah.
It's a place of a plantation of death, basically.
That's it.
They just encourage death over there, man.
That's it.
And it's always an eerie entrance as well. When you go through the entrances and that, it's like you're going to a funeral home or something, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. That's it.
Them the hospitals are definitely, dealing with that pharmakia, that witchcraft, man.
Witchcraft, real talk. Well, because as I remember, the post used to always say, why are they always asking for blood? in them
Bro, I
hospitals?
remember when I was in the hospital, man, they was taking blood every other fucking half an hour. Every hour, we need to take blood. Now, how many times you need to take man's blood?
That's
You
it.
need to put the fistula in there, a little
Yeah.
put it in your arm. You put the tube there, and it's just like a little tube there, leaning out, and then they'll just come with a little tube, put it in there. Yeah, so we need to take blood. Then they'll come another hour. Yeah, we need to take blood. How much blood do you need to
Mm.
fucking take? Then they tell you, you got antibodies, your blood's good. Then they want to take more blood. They tell you that you got antibodies, so it means your blood's good,
Yeah.
got a good defense. And then, we need to take more blood. So you already know they're taking that and they're doing some vampire shit with it.
That's it.
They already got that. They show you that in the movies. They got the fucking cellars full of blood, like labs full of blood, just people's blood all over the damn place,
Yeah.
man. Ready to be used and tried and tested in all these different,
Yeah.
experiments,
Experiments. Well,
biological weapons and all that.
because it's funny because the James Bond film, No
No
Time to Die, because that was all about what they had a database of people's DNA.
Gene editing and
Yeah.
shit.
But what did they do in the 2 years prior to that? They were collecting everyone's DNA by way of them swaps, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, raw.
That was the whole
Yeah.
base. No Time to Die was
Exactly.
basically the whole COVID. That's why they took time to release the movie.
Exactly.
Because it was supposed to come out at a
Yeah.
certain time, and then they
pushed it back.
pushed it back. And then when it came out, it was evident that the whole COVID thing was fucking a ploy of the government.
Yeah.
Even this guy Ron Johnson came out and said in the news article, said that he basically spelt the beans and said that the elites planned the whole pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
He said that in an independent article. I just read it. It was done a sit down the other day.
Done.
Ron Johnson.
Yep.
Senator over there in America.
I've got something. So this is because we were speaking about mercy, right? So James 2:13 For he shall have judgment without mercy
Yeah,
that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
Yeah, look what you did to us in slavery, man. We've got countless accounts of what you did to us in slavery. But as I said, there's things that have not been written that you've done to us, man. That's off the records, off the books. Of all the treacherous behaviors, treacherous things you devils have done. You know? So you got to pay for all of that, man. There's no way you're getting off scot-free. You ain't sailing off into the sunset. Your ass is going into slavery, man, just like we did.
So I'm just reading it.
And it's well deserved too. You deserve to go into slavery because you're natural born slaves anyway. You was made to and created to be slaves to the children of Israel. That's why you Edomites are on the earth. The other nations too. You gooks and all that. You gooks, you proud ass gooks, slanted-eyed bastards. You're going into slavery fucking too, man. Elam, all that Ishmael. I mean, there was talking about reports over there in Punjabi the other day. They're catching hell. They burnt churches over there. Who's over there in Punjabi? Israel, man. The mosques. They must have set that shit up. Something happened with the mosques. Then they decided to go to the churches and just burn the whole shit down. The whole street. All the churches that were there, and the Punjabis are there with basically the Christian Punjabis, which are Jake predominantly. They just burnt all their houses. They burnt all the churches down. They trashed everything, man. All because of some false pretense about man attacking the mosque. Bullshit, man. See what they do? So these heathens got to pay, man. I know for a fact that those Punjabis, there's a lot of our people are over there in Elam. They go back to the Punjabis, man. So a lot of them Punjabis that was over there, that into the Christianity, they were Jakes, man. So they fucked them up. So you think they're not going to pay? Yeah. They're going to fucking pay, man.
So 2 Ezra 6 from verse 54. And after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Yeah, not everyone's chosen. The reason why it says chosen is because there's only a special few. Chosen means a select few, man, or select one. They even got a new program. I was going to try and watch it today. It's called The Chosen One on Netflix. Basically, like a little boy has the power of Yahweh Shai, you know, going around healing and all that. I need to watch it though. But obviously, there's going to be some butchering in that. Yeah. But it's a little boy. It looks like a Jake, and he has spiritual power. And this program's called The Chosen One. Who's the chosen? The nation of Israel. Yasha Allah, princes of the powers, sons of God. They're the only chosen nation on the face of the earth. Vocab. No other nation, man. There's no other. You know, what's that? That doctrine that he pushes, that theologian bullshit.
Oh, replacement.
Replacement theology, man. That's bullshit, man.
That's right. Man, I've got something after on slavery.
Okay.
Yeah, verse 55 says, All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
The Lord made the whole world for the nation of Israel. As far-fetched as it may seem, this whole world belongs to us. The universe belongs to us. How about that? Not even just the world, the universe, man. Because we're going to go throughout the whole galaxy, all the Milky Ways, all these different holes in the earth, so to speak. You know, all these different portals. We're going to be able to go through all these different galaxies and that, and explore space for real, and actually live on other planets and build economies on other planets. What Esau trying to do now, we're actually going to do it, but in righteousness, man. We're going to have to build no rockets and all that because we're going to have chariots. So we're going to be able to defy gravity, do all these things, go deep into space. You know, travel to the ends of the space if there even is an end. Because it's infinity, man. There's no end to it, basically. Infinity and beyond. Exactly. There's no end. So all those mansions which the Lord promised us are in space, and Earth is part of those mansions. So this Earth belongs unto the children of Israel.
That's it.
So look, we got a great prize coming to us, man. Imagine having your own planet, man, or your own fucking galaxy, man.
John, many mansions.
Many mansions, man. Imagine not having your own galaxy, man. Yeah. Having your own sun and moon, your own planet. Like, come on, man. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
Big ass planet, you know, the size of Earth or even bigger than Earth. And it's all yours.
How you like?
Planet Ratazar Amok. Planet Awar and all that. Imagine having that. You know, like say you go and visit brothers on his own planet. The Lord's gonna give that to brothers, man. That's how much of a blessing's gonna come to us. We can't imagine it, man. Scripture says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard. We can't even imagine it, man. It's so far-fetched and like far beyond our imagination actually owning an actual planet. That's like crazy.
Sounds crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy talk, but it's the truth.
That's true. It's common.
You have to believe it, man. Just like the believing that you can fly. You have to actually believe that you can fly for the Lord to give you that power, man.
That's it. They show you that in a lot of these animated films, man. The gods always got their own planets that they reside on, man. You know?
Planet Hulk and all that.
Yeah. That's it.
Hulk had his own planet. He was doing Gladiator. He was fighting like the gladiators on his own planet.
Thor and that. You know, even
Yeah,
in
yeah,
DBZ,
Thor.
they show you that as well.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, Goku and all that. Them lot had their own planets as well. Yeah.
Hey, man, this is John 14:2. In my Father's house are many mansions. If
Yeah,
it were
mansions mean planets, man. You got the stars of the heaven, the constellations, then you got planets. Many mansions mean that they're houses. You can build houses on those planets.
Yeah, it says, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you.
And that's why it's just, you can't measure, just like you can't measure time, you can't measure space. It's infinite. It's so wide and vast, you know, you can't be numbered, basically. The amount of stars, the amount of planets that are out there, you know. That's why it's called space. Space is like space.
Yeah.
You can't count it.
So it says, verse 2 6:55. Now all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Yep.
As for the other people,
Yeah, the other nations, Esau, Moab,
Yep.
Ammon, Elam, Ishmael, the other nations, 17 nations.
it says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle.
These other nations are insignificant, man. They're not on the same level. We're the superior race. These other nations are inferior, man.
Yeah.
And Esau knows this as well. He knows we're the superior. That's why he has us in these basketball matches. He has us on the football pitch. He has us boxing, has us doing MMA, because he knows we're the superior race. Shit wouldn't be entertaining if it was Esau doing it.
No.
It wouldn't be
You remember-
entertaining.
Well, you
No.
remember boxing before Jake got in?
Yeah, all this.
They would literally just punch each other and stay.
All like this,
you know.
man.
Yeah.
They had no skills, no
Yeah.
technique.
No
They
flavor.
didn't know the science of boxing.
Yeah.
Like Mayweather. Mayweather back then would have been like Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson was going in there fucking them crackers up.
Yeah.
Jack Johnson wasn't doing this. He was, you know, he was there. And he was there, right hooking, left hooking, all that. He was doing his thing, man. Check hooking. He was fucking them crackers up. Because they ain't never met a Jake that can box on that level.
Yeah. But then, even past that, that's why Esau goes above and beyond to basically keep Jake stupid.
Yeah, he throws
Right.
money at them, man. He
Throws,
throws money at them, endorsements.
throws money at
Women.
Jake. Yep. And then basically, because this is the thing, man, and brothers can all attest to this, man, right? Because when you're saying the working environment or whatever, what have you, these Edomites will try to put you down, man. Right? They'll try to put you down. They'll try marginalize you. They're marginalizing me.
Yeah, man. When you
Kanye
when you see all
found
these
out.
sports, when you watch all these sports, and you know, anytime you see the athletes, they're all some big tonks, Mandingo warrior looking like type Jake, and then you see little peasy Edomite white man, and he's the manager, he's the boss.
Yeah,
Of that big ass Mandingo warrior, man. He's the boss of that guy, and he owns all the money.
Yeah.
He's making all the money off that damn entertainer, man.
Yeah.
Look at LeBron. LeBron is the perfect example of that, man.
Yeah,
He
man.
was with that fucking dirty rabbi, bro.
Little
That he goes to
scrawny
for
little rat.
financial, spiritual advice.
Yeah.
LeBron James is spiritual advisor. Is a
Nah,
fucking
he's
small
that
hat.
guy.
But then this once again, what Esau will then do, because I forgot who it was, man. It was one of them basketball niggas anyway. He tried to buy a team, or rather, he had a big stake in a team, and then basically Amalek swindled him out of it, man. You know?
Even Ice Cube was complaining about that with the
Yeah.
big three.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
trying to get sponsors and shit, and Esau was shutting the shit down.
yeah.
He ain't
Because
letting you get no fucking own no teams or no major industries like that.
No
Esau knows that you're gonna make mad money off that, man. He
Yeah.
ain't letting you do that.
and also ultimately market 2 and 10. This ain't our rest any
Ain't
time,
our rest, man. Jake don't get. Jake ain't got the memo yet.
you know.
That's why we read it earlier. The fashion of this world gonna pass away, but Jake's still steady trying to think that they can make it here, man. We ain't built here we ain't come here to make it.
Yeah.
Reason why you can't make it in society and they're shutting doors on you, even though you're worthy, so-called worthy of making the money that you're trying to make, is because Esau knows that we're in the captivity, man.
Yeah.
We're under his rule, and he puts Glacians to make sure that we don't get above
Stay there, nigga.
certain status, man. He'll let you get a little crumb or few, but he ain't gonna let you own nothing.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? He ain't gonna let Jake own no fucking basketball team or own a football team.
Yeah.
You can play for the
yeah.
team. That's about it. You can probably coach the team.
Yeah.
As far as it goes, we ain't gonna
Yeah.
own no
Yeah,
fucking team.
But even then, he'll sabotage you.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
you remember Lewis Hamilton, man, when he was with I think it was his first couple of years with Mercedes, he was having all kind of issues. It was like, right, these man, it's like sabotaging me in that.
And he wins every fucking race,
Yeah.
man, for years.
Because who used to be the Formula One driver, man? You
guy,
know,
that
your
was-
Schumachers and
Schumacher
this,
and all
that, and the other,
All them guys
right?
there.
So then to have a Jake now come
He
and,
took
and,
it
and
over.
take that thing, that was an affront to them. man.
That was a Tiger Woods of
Exactly.
racing.
You know?
Tiger Woods, he came in, took over the whole thing. They was hating on it.
Yeah.
Had to bring up a case, try and get him out of there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Lewis Hamilton. From a teen, he was coming in, taking over the whole
Yeah.
thing, fucking up Schumacher, all these different guys.
Yeah.
For years, he was doing that, man, on a run. And these devils find some way to always tear brother down, man, because
Yeah.
they know Jake's superior, man.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Especially in the business world, man. Because in the business world, it's all about who gets that loan, right? And Jake don't get that loan, man. That
New
business loan,
benefits, man.
you
Oh,
know,
bro.
New
that-
benefits.
yeah, that business loan, Jake don't get it, man. And that's ultimately what it is. Because let's be real, and this is why Esau was able to build up his nation, because he had slaves, right? Just
Yeah.
like how we're
And
gonna
he
have
knew who
slaves.
he was, man.
And
He
we-
knew who he was enslaving.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. He knew he wasn't enslaving no fucking Hamites.
Yep.
He knew he was enslaving the Lord's people.
That's it.
That's why Columbus, he was salivating to get over there in the West, man. He read 2nd Ezra 13 and 40, and his eyes popped out of his fucking head.
Yep.
Like, what? Them Israelites over there in the New World? Yo, voyage, man. Yo, Queen Isabella, please, man, send me some money so I can go over there and bring back some slaves for you. And
Yeah.
he did it, man.
Yeah.
What, the first voyage that he went, he brought back 50 Indian slaves or something like that.
Yeah.
He brought back a few slaves to her, and then he went back again, Hispaniola, and started doing his thing.
Yeah.
Then he said he couldn't even put his sword down for an hour. He was so engulfed in killing and murdering Jake. He said he couldn't even put his sword down for an hour, man.
Mm.
He was just out there slicing and dicing,
Yeah, bro.
slicing and dicing. That's the devil for you, man.
And slaves are a highly profitable resource. If you are familiar with West African culture, you even have a house help that you're paying. Even that in itself, somebody to do basic things for you, like cooking, laundry, shit like that.
Everything, bro.
Uh,
Free labor.
Free labor, yeah. And you think about free labor and the hundreds of thousands into the millions of people for a whole country
That's
over
why you get
years.
Jeremiah 50 and was it 11, I think, or 50 and 7. That's why these devils made themselves fat, man, as the heifer.
Yeah.
Free labor, man.
Yeah.
These devils took a whole nation of people, and for 400 years, they just had them work in the fields, all of that, picking cotton, picking sugar cane, working all these different
Yeah.
industries. And what the stock market has today, all these stocks and bonds and commodities,
Yeah.
that was Jake.
Yeah.
Jake was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
The banking industry, Jake was the beginning of that.
Yeah.
So these devils for hundreds of years have been making mad money. That's why the Rothschilds and all that, there was so much wealth.
Yeah.
They can never go broke. Like, you ain't never going to see no Rothschild talk about, I've lost all my money. Or gone bankrupt. File for bankruptcy. How? You own fucking slave money. You have slave money.
That's what old money is.
That's old generational wealth. That's real generational wealth. Having slaves, slave money, basically. And we're going to have slave money too in the kingdom. Because all that money that you get, Job 20, all that money and stuff that you stole, the Lord said you're going to vomit everything back up. So we're going to take all your gold bullion that you stole. You're going to take you're going to take your resources. We're going to take your people. And then we're gonna build our economy, build our empire off the backs of you. And our welfare system is just gonna be to feed you, man. You ain't gonna get no fucking welfare check and none of those things. You ain't gonna need it because we're just gonna make sure you're alive
The bare minimum.
to work, and that's it.
Yeah.
There ain't gonna be no holidays for you and none of that. No time off. For 1,000 years straight, you're gonna be under hardcore punishment, man.
Span of continual employment.
You devils are going to know what suffering and oppression's all about, man. We're going to teach you what oppression really is.
Jeremiah 50:6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord.
So Esau knew that because we corrupted ourselves, he had an opportunity to take us down. That's why even going back to the Babylonian situation, he was like, race it.
To the foundation.
Because he wanted to destroy us, man. But that time there, without even in Ezekiel, told you 36, Tells you they said, aha, like finally, like we got the opportunity to take Jake down. So they've always been waiting for the opportunity to take us down, man.
Yep.
And that came during the time of the transatlantic slave trade. You know, after 70 AD and all of that, man. You know, they had the key opportune time to like, oh yeah, well, now we got them. Now we can fully take them down, and the Lord's with it because they disobey their power, man. The Lord's not going to protect them because they knew that anytime the Lord's protecting us, we're untouchable. They can't do nothing against us. But they knew that if their power's against them, that's when their shields are down, basically, and it's open field. It's open field for them. So they knew that, man.
It says, and because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord Yahweh, the hope of their fathers.
Go ahead. I think it's in verse 11.
I'll go to verse. Let me go from 9. It says, "For lo, I will raise up and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her."
That's talking about Russia. That's talking about World War III. What we was talking about earlier, those nations are going to be arrayed around the America, and they're going to shoot their missiles, shoot their arrows, and they're going to aim it towards America, Babylon the Great. Go ahead.
It says, "From thence shall be taken their arrows. From thence she shall be taken, Salakia. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None of them shall return in vain."
Yeah, those are the ICBM missiles. When they be shot at the silos, they're gonna hit their intended target. They ain't gonna miss. And all these defense systems, they ain't like the Iron Dome and all that. They ain't gonna be able to stop no missiles, man. Like Israel is gonna get flatlined as well, man. They ain't gonna be able to stop their defense systems. Ain't gonna be able to stand against those missiles when they're shot off. You know, some of them can't even catch them in time.
"And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith
Does
the
it say
Lord."
Chaldea, right?
Yeah,
This is
Chaldea.
America's modern day Chaldea, which is modern day Babylon the Great, modern day Egypt. Go ahead.
"All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord."
Yeah,
Because,
everyone that shoots their missiles at them are going to be happy.
yeah,
They're going to be happy, especially Russia and those BRIC nations. They're going to be happy when America's on fire, man. Because everyone's going to realize America's got their finally got their judgment.
Yeah.
You know, America's finally been taken down, man. All that big bad and big bad American type spirit is going to be down and out, man. Everyone's going to be happy about that, especially us. Go ahead.
"Because you were glad, because you rejoiced, O you destroyers of mine heritage."
Yeah, the destroyers of the Lord's heritage, man. You stole the Lord's people, and then you took our nationality and put our nationality on yourself and said you're the chosen people of the Lord, which is a straight fallacy, man. Then you stole the Lord's land, stole our people's land, stole the Lord's land, and you're claiming it for yourself and totally defiled it. You know, and left us for dead, basically. Left us not knowing who we are. If it weren't for the Lord raising us up through the Spirit, we would still be lost, man. We still be not knowing who we are to this day.
So, "because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellow at bulls."
As bulls, right? Because you made yourself fat. You know, America became that cash cow because Jake was over there building your society for free. You had the Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom. You know, you basically just made yourself filthy, stupid rich off the backs of the nation of Israel. But then you're calling us, niggers and spicks and wetbacks, and we're useless eaters, and we don't build, we're useless and all that. But we built your whole fucking society.
Look
man.
at the hubs in it where they had slaves at, man. All the port cities, Liverpool, Portsmouths, Newcastle, those cities, and London, of course. But even those cities are all budding and thriving off the back of the fact that those were the major prominent places other than the capital that slaves were held in. All of those other places that, like all of those major cities, man, or like Birmingham being the second largest, Manchester third, Newcastle up in the mix, they're all thriving because of the fact that slaves literally, man, built those railroads and infrastructures, and the city centers of those places are what they are because of what you did for the money. The money that was generated. Yeah, and labor and those specific sites as well. Yeah, because you had the Docklands here in London.
Yeah, that was the banking.
The banking, and they were getting a load of I think sugar
and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of commodities, man.
Sugar was back then. Sugar was a big thing, man. Back then, that was a big thing. That's how you showed wealth. In fact, there was you'd have like a sculpture. I forget who did it, but basically they had like a sculpture of just like white, made out of white sugar, right? And then that was like to show opulence.
Yeah, because they basically took us down.
Yeah.
And they're still on top to this day. But their time is gone, man. The Lord's taking them down, man, slowly but surely. And this devil knows, man. And once the power's gone, he ain't getting it back. There's no way in hell the Lord's gonna let this devil get any of that type of power ever again on this earth, because he knows what he's done with it already. He's totally destructive, man, and he can't help himself. He loves to abuse the power. The Lord gave him a little power, and he abused it.
Yeah. Oh, it says that. Yeah, a little displeased. Yeah, daughter. Yeah.
With the heathen.
Yeah. You know, but then Esau and them went too far, man.
Further the affliction.
That's it. Even they have this myth of equality. You have the ABS, an organization in America. They collect census data, and in 2020, so this is a little old, but black people, so-called, represented 14.2% of Americans.
MJ.
Yeah, but then only 2.4% of all employer firms were owned by so-called Jake. So they push that myth of, oh yeah, diversity and inclusion, the whole newspeak that they have about trying to incorporate Jake into these societies. But even their own stats clearly tell you, and even those are falsified, because I guarantee you it's not as high as that. But 2.4% of companies are owned by so-called black people. But then they're trying to tell you that they're trying to forward the agenda of giving Jake wealth. But it's all about keeping you statistically low and downtrodden.
Those are those token niggas, man. That's why they got a lot of these boule niggas. They have the certain token ones of our people that, they make it look like a lot of Jake are living like that. A lot of Jake are living like that. A lot of Jakes are still down and under, man. The majority of our people are still down and under. Just that a few of them break out. But you have to do wickedness, man. That's like it says, the love of this world, man. Because you have to partake in it, the evils and all that, to get that kind of wealth, man. You have to do things that's against your protocol, against your moral standards. You have to come
Contravene yourself.
No, what's the word?
Contradict?
No, not contradict. Anyway, you have to do things that's against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Contravene?
No. Compromise, man. Compromise. You have to compromise yourself. That's the word.
And this is one from just a little bit before. Isaiah 47 from 6. I was wroth with my people. I polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy, and upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Right? So yes, as we were just speaking just now, we were given into your hand. The Lord was like, look, man, right, I'm pissed off with these guys right now. You be my whooping stick. But guess what? Yeah. I said, but guess what? You went too far, man. Right? You're still going too far.
Yeah, now you're trying to put stick chips in us, man. And that, you're basically trying to claim the Lord's people for yourself. And that's taking it way too far. The Lord said that we belong unto him. So how are you going to try and stick chips in us and try and claim us for yourself? That's crazy, man.
Yeah, you won't.
You're going off, man. But the Lord going to make you do that because 2/3, he doesn't want to save all Israel this time. In ancient Egypt, the Lord came and saved all Israel. And he, did what he had to do with us in the wilderness as it for 40 years. And only the righteous made it out of that situation. But this time, only the righteous are being beamed up in them ships, the chariots, or the modern day arks, like in the time of Noah. So only the righteous are going to make it out. And they're going to be the first fruits that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, man, to help build up that, that empire that's going to rule out throughout the entire earth.
That's right.
The 144,000 are going to be the governing body of Yasha Allah, man. They're going to be right under Yahweh Shai, right under King David, ruling, in the various offices over the nation of Israel.
That's right.
So that's what's coming. So the Lord doesn't want 2/3 to get any of that right now. They got to die on this side, man. They got to be done away with. you know.
Mm.
And then through the elect, they're gonna come back in their right minds, man, and enjoy the kingdom.
Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And then it goes down into breaking down 12,000 men out of every single one of those 12 tribes, because at the end of the day, on this side, the Lord is going to deal with the elect first and foremost, and that's why we continue to push the elect, the chosen, the elect, because the Lord has a chosen, and that's one thing that a lot of people are going to be shocked by, but are going to have to come to the realization of that with the Lord. There's favoritism. People don't like to deal with the facts, the raw facts.
Yeah.
They like to keep it fucking woolly. And God will just accept you and love you for who you are. But the Lord don't just love everybody, man.
Yeah.
Even amongst his own nation, he's got favorites, man.
Yeah, that's it. Well, even like when you were saying, I was just thinking, because there's that whole notion that parents can't have a favorite child. It's
Yeah.
like everyone knows.
I know I ain't my mom's, my dad's favorite, man.
No.
I'm my mom's favorite, but not my
Yeah.
dad's.
Yeah, that's it.
They're trying to put those concepts into the Most High.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the Most High has a favorite. He has a favorite, as we read it. You read it earlier on. He has a favorite bird.
His
Is it-
favorite son.
Yeah, has
Yeah, I
a
was
favorite
right.
son. That's it.
Said he was well pleased, man.
Mm.
Pleased
Even-
to have him in his presence, man.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yahweh Shai talks about being in his presence daily.
Yeah.
And he said that, look, Heavenly Father was pleased to have him around.
Well,
He was the first spirit created, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was found worthy
It's found worthy
Right,
to
is it?
open the
Yeah.
book,
to open the book, man.
you know. So
Yeah.
the Lord has favorites. He's always had favorites. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We have favorites.
That's it.
We're all, come from the spirit of power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because he's the Father of spirits. So if he has
Yeah.
favorites, how can we not have favorites?
That's it.
You have a favorite shoe, a favorite jacket. There's something that you like more than other things, man. When you go shopping, you used to buy certain jackets or clothing. You like this particular outfit more than the other. It's just, what you prefer.
That's it.
There's nothing wrong with having preferences, man.
That's it.
Just like women, man. You have preferences. You like thinner women. You like this type of woman.
Yeah.
You like women with curly hair. You like women with,
Yeah.
straight, whatever, man.
And sometimes you have favorites for a season.
Come on, man.
As in like, you might, let's say you had a couple women, you be like, look, I'm feeling my, my Kushat ting right now.
Yeah, man.
And then the next season you're like,
Yeah.
you know what, man, I want to
Yeah.
go back to my Elam ting right
You
now.
have your favorite food.
Yeah.
You have certain cuisines you like more than others.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like you look forward to eating some lamb certain days more than other things you want to eat. Everyone has favorites, man. What the fuck are you complaining about?
That's it.
Of course, the Lord has this. Said He has us chosen, man, from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
The first fruits.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yeah, man.
You know?
And even with that as well, with us being the Lord's favorite, we had a harsh judgment because there was higher expectations of us that we
Oh.
fell short of.
That's Amos, isn't it? That's Amos 3 at the top.
Yeah, yeah.
3:1.
Yeah.
It says Amos 3:2. You only have unknown of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Yeah, so the Lord created all these nations, but He had one favorite nation, and we was the least of the nations as well. Don't forget, we started in Gershom,
Yeah.
with Joseph and all that, and his brethren, his brothers. How many was it? 70 souls that went into Gershom and all that.
Yeah.
So we started off a small nation, man, but then we grew exponentially, and the pharaohs didn't like that. Those Hamites didn't like that.
Yeah.
Then they had to put us in captivity.
Yeah.
Man.
Which is why these new pharaohs are employing similar tactics as we mentioned earlier on of ancient Egypt, man.
Yeah, same
Right.
shit. Yeah, eugenics,
Eugenics.
bioweapons trying to cut us down.
Yeah.
Slavery, being the rigor, serving with rigor. They knew that history, how we served. We built the pyramids of Giza and all these different places, and they made us go through that same shit over there in the West
That's it, man.
later on in history, man.
Because Jake, man, and it's because he's been going through some shit at the job, man. But it's just like, Jake, we've got that spark, man, and Esau doesn't have that spark. Jake can look at a problem and he can be 12 years a slave was a perfect embodiment of that, because you had the instance where the edgier for
Solomon Norfolk.
Solomon Norfolk, the main character. He was like, oh yeah, and the thing is, he wasn't even coming anti, right? He just, because Jake be doing it. You see it at the workplace.
Just the problem solvers.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Jake, you won't even be
Productive
coming
problem
anti. You be like, yeah, why don't you do it like this, that, and the other? But what does Esau do? He gets proud.
It's hating.
He hates.
Look at that Cain and Abel type
Yeah.
spirit, man.
And-
Just hating. Because Jake is a natural deductive problem solver. That's what it is.
That's
We
it.
just like solving shit. Like
Yeah,
we're the natural innovators of the earth. Man.
that's it.
Innovators. That's what we
Well,
do.
Well, we get the inspiration, right? When that
Yeah,
comes
the
back with
Russell,
inspirare.
Yeah, that's how you
Right.
know where the Jake was the spirit of the angels and all that look like Jake and all that because they build things, they create things in the heavens, man. They create planets through Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
There was the first, the Elohim, the gods of the earth, so
Yeah.
to speak. The powers, the angels was there creating stuff. So Jake's always, and we come from that spirit, man. Jake's always been innovators, man. We create things. We're natural creators. Esau knows this.
Yeah, but do you know what Esau will do? Is which goes into his witchcraft, right? Because he will he will only show the degenerates of our people,
Of course.
right? Because then when you see
Give us no credit as well.
give us no credit, made no account of his labors. We've quoted a few times now, right? But when we're saying this, people are overhearing and be like, yeah, but you lot are just drillers. You lot just kill yourself. You lot
that's
just
the
do
stigma. That's
this.
the stigma that they
Yeah.
put out there.
But the thing is, that's only like America. That's just like one,
The West.
exactly, that Western world. That's just like one segment of Jake. And even then, the majority of Jake ain't with that, man.
That's why in every documentary that they show about Jake in the ghetto, it's always like Chicago.
Yeah.
The biggest, the worst crime organizations and all that in the ghettos, and where the most deaths occur. Where Jake is staying. That's the
That's
only
it.
narratives that they put out there of Jake. They don't put out the fact that Jake built everything. Jake was inventors of most of fucking modern day society.
Yeah.
Jake built the lamppost, the lights, built the ACs, built the traffic lights, built everything. The room McCoy, Jake built a lot of things, man.
And
We're the
all,
innovators,
yeah,
man.
and all of the things you don't hear about either.
Even had this
Yeah.
the article that I have today where I saw 3 kids under the age of 5 are the smartest kids in the world, man. 3 Jakes.
Yeah.
They said that they're the high kid, they got the highest IQ in the world.
Yeah.
3 Jakes, man, little Jake babies, man.
Yeah.
Little kids, man. That's showing you. And I remember even my cousin, like, he was like a mathematician, man. I don't know how he used to be able to. You give him any number, he'll just
Yeah.
calculate it straight away. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
But he'll just give him any number, multiply it, whatever. He will give you the right answer.
Yeah.
And we just be like, how the fuck do you know? You're not even like 10 years old, man.
Yeah.
How the hell do you know this, man? And that's the spirit of the Lord that's working in Jake's mind.
Yeah.
Jake could just naturally that's why we was in Egypt. We built everything. All that science and all that, which these devils try to use now with masonry and all that. Jake was the ones that was building all those things, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have no forklift machines in the ancient world, man. How the hell did they build up fucking pyramids that high off the ground and such a specific, perfect fucking prison?
Yeah.
Pythagoras theorem, all these different things, the maths. That means they had the maths down pat.
Yeah.
And Abraham was the one teaching them how much maths as well. So Abraham was a smart man because he had wealth, he had gold, he had cattle. So he was a smart man. He wasn't a dummy.
Yeah.
He wasn't just wandering the desert and all that like a lost soul. He was an intelligent being, man.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord made sure he was an intelligent being.
Yeah.
And Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were the same way.
Mm-hmm.
All of our forefathers were, man. Look at Joseph, like he got sold into slavery and then literally rose up into prominence and Pharaoh.
He saved the fucking whole kingdom from starving from famine.
Yeah. Real shit, man.
The dreamers, man.
Mhm.
Joseph, Daniel. Look how Daniel climbed up.
Mhm. Yeah.
Became one of the presidents. And
Marshall, Moses.
Hey, King Moses.
Mm-hmm. You got so many different accounts of that as well, like Daniel. That shows you we're a powerful people as a whole.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's why Esau in this society has mastered the art of oppression. Because like you was telling a story about your cousin. When you was telling that, I was remembering one guy I went to school with.
Well, not my cousin, sorry, my little nephew.
Okay,
Slacker.
can't, so,
He's little, at the time he was like 10 years old at the time. He's older now.
I was saying I remember one Jake I went to school with. Kid was highly intelligent, but then the school system and the way it was designed. I mean, if someone that's intelligent, why are you sticking them in a room full of people that aren't? So then guess what happened? He slowly but surely started slacking,
Breaking him down.
They broke him down.
I remember Young Spray, not to cut you, I remember Young Spray was saying that. He was saying when he was over there in Jamaica, he was one of the smartest kids. He was getting all kinds of grades, straight A's. When he came over to the UK, he said he never knew white people existed. He never saw a white person in life.
Yeah.
So when he came over here, everything was strange and foreign to him. So over time, they put him in classes where basically he said that he felt he felt dumb because he knew what they was teaching
Yeah,
was
yeah,
lower
yeah,
than his IQ.
yeah,
So he's over time he started to mess around,
yeah, yeah,
started to
yeah,
fuck around, flunking all that, and then he became the nigga that he is
yeah,
today. He started getting into trouble
yeah.
because
100%.
he didn't use his
Brain.
faculties,
Yeah,
man, anymore. He didn't want to use his faculties. But that's what
yeah,
this system does to you. It breaks you down.
yeah.
Like I know countless of family members and all that. You go back to West Africa,
Yeah.
they got all the kind of degrees, master's degrees and
But
PhDs,
they ain't recognize
top
that.
scientists and all that. But when they come over here, they can't use it, man.
Yeah.
And they feel dumbed down
It's not
because they're
recognized.
not on
Yeah,
the same level.
yeah,
Like
they're
the maths
above.
that they
Yeah,
learn over there in algebra in primary school, the algebra they learn algebra in primary school in
yeah,
Nigeria, man.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
you learn that shit over in secondary school,
yeah.
high school.
And even
But in
then, not
primary
even
school, you're
properly.
learning algebra.
Bro,
Yeah,
yeah, bro. But in kindergarten, you know your times tables, bro. And
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit. It's different over there.
yeah.
So when you come over here, you feel you get dumbed down.
Yeah. Because that same story that you told about that individual, I know a girl from Jamaica, and
Yeah.
then when she said the same thing, she said, when I came here, I was like,
Like,
what the fuck?
I
Is
can
this?
attest to that, bro.
They learn
I came here in year 7,
Yeah,
and bro, I was like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like,
Yeah.
What kind of education is
yeah,
this, man?
yeah.
Some dumbed down
Yep.
ABC type shit.
But Issa will tell you that they're just dumb. They're just this. But once again, they're talking about segments of society here and applying it with everyone
Bro,
over there, man.
I remember my fucking year's business studies class, bro. Yeah, they gave us coursework to do, bro. I was on 2 modules ahead of the class, bro.
Yeah,
I'm giving man my coursework so they could copy the shit.
Sometimes when you're in
Oh,
exam,
God,
like
that's
you
a
do
good
the early tests and all that, early
yeah.
exams,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you still smash it, and
Yeah,
they're still trying to find a way to hold you back. But
that's
they don't
it.
want you to advance.
Yeah.
That's why I can see why that black girl, she got all straight A's and she wants to go to Oxford. But you know,
Yeah.
this ain't the kingdom of heaven, man. This kingdom's temporal.
Yeah.
But that just shows you that Jake's on a higher level, man.
That's it.
Intellectually, we're those people, man.
Mhm.
But Esau just tries to find ways to dumb us
Keep you
down and give us
I'm
bad examples and no role models to act like we're just niggas.
They gaslight you. They
Yeah, they
gaslight you a
gaslight you.
lot. They gaslight Jake a lot because it's like let me just read this because we mentioned this a few times.
Yeah.
Wisdom 5 from the top. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. Right, so starting off with the apostle and down, that's what you're seeing all over the world, and that's why Esau's scared, man. Right, Jeremiah 28:8. Right, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against great kingdoms, man, and that's what we're doing. We're prophesying against the great kingdom, man. Right, and just like back then, right, when the prophets of old was saying, "Oh, this kingdom's going down," it was like, "Have you seen our army? Have you seen all of this? We're going down, right?" But then guess what happened? They went down, right? Just like how this kingdom's gonna go down too, right? So it says, and made no account of his labors, right? Jake, they don't make no account of what we do, right? Hey, I've got a joke with my colleague, man. It's called we send each other like an emoji of a cake, right? And what we mean by that is, here's what we made the cake, right? And then now all of these people are just taking, basically taking credit for the shit that we've built, right?
That's what Esau does.
That's
man.
what Esau, man. Oh man, I had to sit through these guys, and well done, Josh, for doing that thing. Right, Josh's a proper like West Country Edomite, man.
Esau's
right?
the devil, man. He'll never give you credit where credit is due.
That's it.
It's like when the Most High, Esau, not like his whole society, everything, the power that he's got, he ain't gonna give credit to the Lord, man.
That's it.
He's the devil. He wants to actually say he's the Lord.
Yeah.
Paint false images and all of that, man. Blasphemy, man. That's why the Lord gonna destroy it. Even the other day, what was I watching, man? And they showed these different idols and different buildings, the obelisks and all of that. There's one building, the Capitol building, basically, and they got a picture on the roof. I can't remember the actual word. It begins with an R, but it's like memorabilia or something like. Basically, it's a false image of Andrew Jackson, the first president of America. I think he was the first, right? It's Andrew Jackson.
Okay.
Anyway, one of them found the presidents, and they put him on the ceiling, basically looking like he's the Most High. They're painting him like he's the Most High and all that, on top of the Capitol building, on the roof, basically. These devils always trying to, and they call it a certain word, that basically means to deify himself, basically make himself look like a god. I don't know. What does it say there?
So no, it was Washington that was the first.
Is it Washington? Yeah, no. It's lucky. It is Washington. Yeah, what's the first name again?
Yeah, George Washington.
George Washington. Yeah, that's it. And he's got a picture of him, an emblem of him on the ceiling, in the Capitol building, where they made it look like he's the most high.
Yeah, Madison was the fourth.
Yeah. And he got like pictures of like, you know how they put in the 16th chapel. They got basic pictures of him looking like that. I can't remember the actual word, but they called it. They said they're supposed to deify him like he's a god, because he was the first president in the U.S. in that Capitol building, which is basically forced idol worship, man. You know, blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, basically. You know.
Yeah, that's nothing like other than these other nations trying to deify their leaders, man. Like it happened during the time of Daniel, during the time of the Maccabees. Also, you had it to where pretty much they took their doctrine and tried to make it the go-to for the region, man. And ultimately, all these nations, at the end of the day, like I said, man, their idols ain't gonna be able to stand for them in the kingdom, in the time of judgment that the Lord's bringing. Because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, as we've been reiterating, is the only true and living power upon the face of the planet Earth, man. Let me quickly grab.
So these devils they got a lot to pay for, man. At the end of the day, Esau, there's no way you can pay off for what you've done. There's no amount of money, nothing you can do to basically pay off for what you've done, all the lies that you spilled, all that shit that you've done across the earth. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is suffer, man, and go into slavery for 1,000 years, and then be exterminated, man. That's it. That's your penalty, man, and you're gonna pay it.
Yeah.
Tab is due.
Numbers 35.
Well overdue, man.
And I've got on money, I've got the one that you call for marketing program.
Numbers 35, 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So the only way that this can be rectified is that we've got to put hell, even more hell than you put on us, onto you, man. Double, man, as it's written, man. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to drink the cup, the dregs of the cup also. Pretty much just literally, man. Really and truly, we got Obadiah verse 18. You literally just take you out of existence after that 1,000 years of captivity, and it's gonna be justified by the Heavenly Father, because He said that our righteousness is of Him. Because that's another thing that a lot of people don't even know the difference of. They don't know the difference between killing and murdering, man. And you can actually kill. There's righteous kills in the Bible, man.
Yeah.
And that's something that's going to be exercised when the Heavenly Father gives that green light on it. You know?
That's it.
Time's gonna slow down as well. Don't think that 1,000 years is gonna go straight, go like lightning speed. That shit. A day is gonna feel like a couple of days, man. Probably a week.
Like back when we were kids, man, those days were long.
Yeah.
You know, not like nowadays. It's like it's just
Blink and then
Someone will stay out for just a little bit longer.
exactly.
You know, you feel like you've just been out there the whole day, sweating and all that.
That's
But
it.
yeah, the time's gonna slow down. We're gonna slow everything down.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna take time.
Yeah. Well, Scripture says in Matthew 24:22, except those days be short.
Yeah, on this side.
On
In
this
the
side,
kingdom,
yeah. So
in the kingdom, we're gonna enjoy. We're gonna actually enjoy time, man.
Exactly.
Enjoy life.
So Lord is shortening these days on this side, man.
Yep.
You
Speeding
know,
the time.
Speeding the time. Because let's be real, just the other day was like, shit, you know, you out here, you know, you could have got gloves on, you know, blowing into your hands and that.
Every week,
Yeah.
every week, you feel like time's moving faster
That's
anyway. 'Cause,
it.
like we leave today, and the next couple of days it's gonna be
It's coming,
Saturday again.
yeah. It's just,
It's like every other day, it's like Saturday just comes around the corner. So it's like,
yeah,
time has been sped up, man.
camp something in between, camp something in between,
Yeah.
camp something.
Before you know it, you're sleeping.
That's
You
it.
wake up, you go to work. Next minute it's Friday again.
Yeah,
And you know you got to go back to camp on Saturday.
That's it. Job 20:15, one you call for a while back now, says, He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
Yeah, so everything you stole, man, all that bullying you're holding on to, hoarding all this wealth, thinking that you're going to sail off into the sunset with it and build your new economy, your new world order with it, that's not going to happen, mate. All you're doing is holding that all those resources for us, including yourselves, the rich, the top elite. They're just holding themselves for ransom. So when we get into the kingdom, we're going to be our first slaves, man. So everything that you own, we're going to own it too. And you.
So first slaves. This is Ezekiel 39.
40. So that's what you call justice right there. Justice is going to be served, man. You devils ain't getting away. Little Lucy, Lefty, and all that. All you devils, you're not getting away, man. whether
Yep.
you die on this side or not, because you're gonna come back through the reincarnation.
It's Ezekiel 39:14, and they shall sever out men of continued employment. Right? Which, you know, that first crop of slaves, man, which is going to start with the elites. Right? If you can,
And their children, man.
And their children, yeah. You're holding something, it's all right. You're holding something already. I was going to say, I mean, Amos, the 9th chapter, man, speaks about how we go. Okay, can't.
Isaiah 14:21.
Yep.
Prepare slaughter.
Yeah.
No?
Amos 9:2 says, though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring thee down. And
Yep.
though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
Yeah. So all of these different bunkers, these space retreats or whatever, where these elites are gonna go at the time, you know, these missiles are shot off, right? Those are just, if you will, that's their holding cell.
Yeah, it is.
You know, their holding cell, because then we gonna go, as what it says there, we're gonna go and grab them up, man.
Just
Right.
reserving yourself. That's what you're doing.
That's it, right? And then you're gonna be the first crop of slaves. So continuing on, Ezekiel 39:14, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it, right?
Yeah,
So
so your first job is gonna be burying dead bodies, man.
that's it.
You know, you're gonna be burying, burning, you know, bodies, all that stuff. You're gonna be doing, you know, you're gonna be tilling the land and all of that, man. You're gonna be working, man. You're gonna have a lot of work to do. Don't worry about that. There's gonna be plenty of work for you
That's it.
devils to do, man. Plenty of
Yeah.
lashings and arse whippings to take as well.
That's it. Yeah, because we ain't gonna be burying bodies. Why
Don't
would we
touch,
do
you ain't
that?
gonna go near a dead body. That's
It's
against the law. You're not allowed to be around dead bodies, man.
Yeah, no.
It don't mean you heathens ain't allowed to.
You're gonna be working, man.
You're gonna be working. You're gonna be burying them bodies, making sure everything is it's kosher, man. You know. And then we gonna fucking bury you probably. Torture your ass a few times, man.
Yeah. So after after the end of 7 months shall they search. You know, that was it on that.
Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Yes, you're all gonna pay, man. Every Edomite that's left on outside of the shores of America, that's you know, settled wherever they're gonna be settled hiding, they're gonna be enslaved. You know, they will be captured, enslaved, and they're going into slavery, man. With the rest of their kinfolk, man. No?
For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, and the remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord.
Yes, so America's gonna be no more. America's not gonna be a power on the earth no more. That's gonna be null and void. That's gonna be past tense, man.
Psalms 149:6. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye Yahweh.
So it's an honor, man. And like the brother said, it's a righteous thing with the Lord to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you, man. Like you can righteously kill your enemy. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you call karma. That's what you call eye for an eye, man. That's what you call revenge.
Yeah.
The Lord deals with vengeance, man. He deals with revenge very, 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 very much so.
Yeah.
So he's going to give us the opportunity to get our revenge on, man. He said that's an honor of the saints, man, to do this, to enslave our enemies.
Well, but even because of the way it ended is why I'm gonna grab this, because it made me think it's got a pretty similar ending, right? This is Revelation 13 and 9 and 10. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Yep.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yeah, so
It's the same thing.
even Ishmael, the Arabs that, you know, put us in slavery as well, you know, helped Esau with the, you know, with the porting of slaves, with the porting of slaves, and transferring them throughout the four winds of the earth. Even the Amalekites that finance slavery,
Mhm.
they all got to pay, man. The ones that finance
Yeah.
the slave ships, they all got to go into slavery.
That's
Every
it.
last one of them, man. They all got to pay. There ain't gonna be no mercy shown to them, you know,
That's it.
because they all made themselves wealthy off the backs of us suffering, man.
Mhm. That's it. But yeah, I just found it interesting because in both those verses, on one it says, well, in this one it says, here's the patience, the faith of the saints, right? But also, where'd it go? But on the other one it says,
The
this
honor of the
honor
saints.
of the saints, man.
It's
So
it's an
yeah,
honor.
you know, but you know, in this modern day way of thinking, people make it seem like getting revenge is a bad thing, man.
Yeah, because they don't want to suffer, man.
Yeah,
They don't want to go. Esau knows that you've got to go through what we went through, but he doesn't want to go through it. That's why I'm trying to find every means to say that, you know, slavery wasn't as bad as we say it was, or we, you know, we helped you guys. You know, we didn't, you know,
Yeah.
force you to do nothing. Like
Yeah.
Esau's trying to change history, man,
Yeah.
because he knows he's got to pay for what he did.
Yeah.
Because what you did was inhumane.
yeah. Because for instance, you had that guy, man, on Talk TV, whatever. What's that, man? Piers Morgan's show is. Yeah, that Edomite basically saying that it was all good, right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's chatting
how
shit.
far we do? Why should we have to apologize? How far back? I noticed though when he was saying how far back, he said North Africans, i.e. Arabs, right? Because that's what the image that people have of North Africans is as Arabs, right? But we didn't speak on was the fact that Esau himself, the so-called white man, was in captivity, right, at some period of time under so-called black people, man. Right, he didn't. He chose his words carefully, right, because you can't have that energy out into the ether.
Yeah, no, of course, they don't want to admit that, but it's undeniable, man. Facts.
Yeah, but our brothers brought it out at the after camp last week.
Mm-hmm.
Brought out information on a book called about the Israelites ruling during the medieval times, and then you got books like, you know, Nature Knows No Color Lines and all like that with the Russian icons as well. It shows you the coats of arms, all these different times Jake's ruling throughout Europe. Then you got these new programs coming up, Bridgerton, about Queen Charlotte Sophia, black woman ruling in England. You know, King George III's wife, one of them anyway. And then you got this other one called Singleton. Now they got another black woman playing a you know, a dignity and all that, a princess or whatever, a duchess, duchess or whatever in England. I don't know what that one's based upon, but
I think
they're
that's
showing
a spin-off of Bridgerton.
probably,
I think.
but it's showing Jake ruling, because Esau knows that we was ruling, man. He knows William Wallace, Bruce from William Wallace anyway, Braveheart, Bruce. You know that those guys were, you know, Jakes. Those guys were Israelites, man. Even Edward I, Longshanks. You know, 1200s, them 12th century.
What, Charles, what was it? They called him a black boy or something.
Black
like
boy, yeah. King Charles II, black boy. King Edward, they called it King Edward I. They called him Longshanks, man.
Yeah.
And he ruled over there in Scotland. So Jake was ruling throughout Scotland, venison, all those things. Like I was watching James and Martin, whatever, and he's traveling. He's got a program called From Island to Highlands. So he's going around Scotland, all these different places, basically Northumberland, all these places where Jake was ruling, basically. Recently, he went to Scotland, went to one castle where you can see basically that was Jake that ruled there. And it was one of the King Edward's first, basically castles, I think it was, one of his monasteries or whatever it was, yeah. And then he was going around eating venison and all these different things, eating bear, lamb. That's what Jake was doing in Scotland.
Yeah.
That's what Jake was cooking, lamb, eating venison. Then they had this Edomite. He owns like fucking acres of land, man, like stupid acres, and he basically looks after wild deer, the venison and all that. He looks after wild deer. He's got one plot of land. There's just acres and acres of fucking grass, man. Just to one fucking Edomite, man.
Yeah.
You got Jake over here struggling in council housing. You got one Edomite owning all this land for some fucking one flock of animals.
Yeah. But this is the same Edomite that will then tell you everything's overpopulated. It's like
There's no land to build anything.
You just concentrate, but this is it, because the people that have like the loudest voices are concentrated in these small areas. So then they're like, yeah, it is overcrowded. It is overcrowded because
you made it that way.
You made it that way.
Devils made it that way.
You know?
Then he got this one Edomite devil and his wife on acres of land, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's
living like kings and that.
And
then there's their brazen cattle. They ain't got no children. And there's their brazen cattle looking all after these wild, like the venison and all that. You know, it's like, what the fuck, man? These devils don't deserve that, but that just shows you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
And yeah.
They're living comfortably, man. They can't complain about nothing, man.
Oh,
Esau's had
that's
his fair.
Psalm 73.
Esau's had his
No,
fair
but
share,
you
man.
got it.
These devils can't complain about nothing. Like we just had that family walk past. They ain't got a care. They ain't suffering. They ain't going through no sufferings, man. Their suffering is not the same as Jake. They ain't
Not
going through. They
remotely.
ain't going through like what's it called the systematic oppression like Jake is, man.
Yep.
You know, they ain't going through that. Their children have got insurance, life insurance policies on them. They got trust funds.
Yeah.
They got big they got fucking they got credit cards already in their name, man.
Yeah.
They got a car
Oh,
there
man.
waiting for them, a house waiting, sitting there waiting for them to inherit.
Yeah,
You know,
car
trust
for the
funds and all of
21st
that.
birthday. And
Yeah.
shit.
They got 100 grand trust fund
Yeah.
ready waiting for them to take when they're 18,
Yeah.
so they can just destroy them, spoil themselves,
Yeah.
turn into Hunter Bidens and all that.
Well,
Go ahead.
So I would say Edomites, man, they like Jake don't really know. Look, when Esau is saying, "Yeah, I just went traveling," like Jake can't just be able. Jake can't just. I just went traveling, like for months on end, just going to different countries,
Esau travels the
living
world,
life.
man. He's
It's
a
like,
globetrotter, man.
bruh,
Esau's a
you
natural
know?
globetrotter. You'll see him in places where you would think, no, they'll never be.
Yeah. Don't eat them out.
They'll be in places on the earth like no man's really going to. Like they're just traveling everywhere, climbing rocks.
Antarctica.
Yeah, climbing rocks, doing all kinds of shit, man. You know, and it's that shit is expensive.
Yeah.
That shit is expensive. They go on cruises, they go on like them Sahara like, retreats, all these different things, man. And they got the money to afford it and then some, man.
Yeah. And I remember the what do you call it? My brother, Bud. One time he said something, man, to me, and it hit home. Like Edomites can say this phrase. Jake can't say this phrase. Edomites can say this phrase. Oh, I moved back into my parents' house and my bedroom was how I left it. Jake don't know what that's like. Because one, did you even have a bedroom? Two, as soon as you left, it's some auntie moved in or something else has happened. I was like, bruh.
Yeah, of
Jake,
course.
because Jake just don't have it like that. As a
Or they
whole,
inherit their family's home. They inherit the family home.
Yeah.
Like, Jake don't inherit no
Yeah.
family home.
that's it. Or your younger sibling moved into your room or some shit like that.
Yeah. Your younger sibling that
Yeah.
used to share with the
Scripture
other.
says
Yeah.
that they leave their substance unto their babes.
That's it.
Like when these devils, like all these millionaires, when they die and they got children left behind, they inherit their wealth, man.
Yeah.
You know, they inherit their
Dynasties,
wealth.
man.
They ain't suffering like Jake. They like, you know, you got a lot of Edomites on you know, council like on like government on welfare. You know, you have got a lot of
Yeah,
Edomites
you
on
see.
welfare, but those are the undesirables.
Yep.
The majority of Esau, Edom, like in the area that we're living in now, doing this camp now, you got a lot of Edomites around here
Living good.
that are living good, man. We're right next to a fucking $1 million
Yeah, I think
home,
all of these on this road are million.
over $1 million
Yeah,
home that you know one of these Edomites own,
Yeah.
and they're living comfortably, man. They ain't got a care in the world, man.
So,
The only time they're gonna feel it is when you know all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Literally. You might get some intruders trying to run up in your establishment
that
and all that.
DMX song.
All that. Stop being greedy,
Stop
man.
being greedy.
That's when the rich are really
Give
gonna
to the
feel it.
needy.
Is when all hell breaks loose and you get
Yeah.
some inner city people's, you know,
Running up
going
in-
to the suburbs and all that,
Yeah.
looking for food and all that. That's when
Yeah.
they're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
But for now, these devils, they're not in trouble as other men.
See you
See you
next
later,
week,
see you,
man.
man. They're not in trouble as
So you
other
know
men.
we're diligent.
They're
man.
living comfortably.
Lord willing.
They're living comfortably, man.
Mhm.
So that's why they got to go through what they have to go through.
Yeah.
Because they ain't suffered how we suffered, man. They
That's
don't
it.
know what suffering is.
You got that one, bro?
Yeah. So this is Psalm 73. Start from 3. For I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
Yeah, we're under plagues. We're under generational curses. Meaning we're under plagues, man. Written off in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. We're supposed to be living how these Edomites are living, but in righteousness, though.
Yeah.
But these devils are living like that in wickedness.
Yeah.
Showing you how the Lord deals, man. You know? But he gives time and chance to every man.
Hey, you got that saying, not a care in the world. Right? Esau ain't got cares like we have cares. You know, Jake, man, you know, Jay, our parents working multiple jobs, or stressing about this. There'll be a school trip. You don't know if there's enough money for you to go on a trip.
Certain children can't even afford school lunches, man.
Yeah. Oh, free school meals. That was a whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a whole thing over the CVs. You're having to have like footballers, quote unquote, raising money for free school meals. But these times, man, and it goes to show you, man, man, you have a boss. You ask boss, man, yo, boss, can I have a grand pay rise? Just put a number out there. You'll be like, nah, I ain't gonna give it to you. But then that night we'll go and spend 10 grand at a bar. Right?
It happens. It does. It happens a lot.
So and I remember the Apostle Taha, the Apostle Ramab Salaka, he did a series just at the beginning of the CV where basically he was saying these devils, they have the means to do better, right? But ultimately it's not in their spirit to do better, man. Okay? Because there's enough money in this world.
What they do, man. They own most of the fucking resources and wealth in the earth. The earth is made to be resourceful and for man to live off the land. So Esau is basically greedy. They're just showing you how greedy they are. Because they don't have to want for anything, man.
Yeah.
They own every fucking thing, but it's not enough. Now they just want pure power over people's souls, man. Because they own everything. They own all the industries, they own all the wealth. They have all the wealth. They own all these major industries. They can want for nothing. But that's not enough. Now they want you to own your souls, man. They want to brand you like cattle.
Yeah. It says, therefore pride compasses them about as a chain.
Pride, man. That's what the main thing. Pride.
Yeah.
It's going to be their downfall.
Yeah, but it's because pride, because they have all of this wealth, because they live this way, they're very proud, man. That's why they say statements like, just work harder.
Mhm.
They don't understand that, no, we won. We've got these plagues upon us. And two, really, they've got the blessing that is upon them. So,
under curses, man.
Because that was when Isaac blessed Esau, right? He said, thou shalt have the fatness of the earth, man. So that's what they're living through.
Yeah,
that's what they put their hands to do. That's why it prospers right now.
Because why is it Esau are the major ones, the only ones majorly that are owning all these different farmlands?
Yeah.
You ain't seen no Jake own no damn farmland. You can't even see Jake grow his own own seeds and own crops in his back garden, let alone own some farmland. Esau will come down and fucking restrict that.
Yeah, what Esau does is, because it came out, because Monsanto seeds are patented, what they'll do is, let's say they'll drive with an open truck full of Monsanto seeds, and then those seeds then land on a farm, right? Then they'll come to the farm and be like, yo, you're using our seeds, right? And then sue the farmer. And it's like, bro, this man is the devil.
That's it, man. You don't see no Jay owning no farmland, but every man's supposed to have a farmland. Yeah. To raise his own cattle and live off the land and, sell different things, milk, cheese, sell milk and cheese, all these different things, grow crops, sell them in the market. Everyone's supposed to be able to live like that. But Esau made it like we're dependent upon him, dependent on government rations, man. And now they're saying they're going to start cutting that shit down. They're going to start rationing it even more in America.
Yeah.
They're going to cut down on certain crops and certain things, electricity, gas, and stuff. Certain things, I think in the article, it said they're going to start rationing that, man. That's showing you there's going to be Hunger Games sooner rather than later in America, man. They're going to divide the spoils. But every man's supposed to be able to have his own crops and own land. Look at Jacob. Look at Jacob worked with his Uncle Laban, and he was able to get his own substance after the working for his uncle for a matter of time. Abraham had his own substance, had cattle, all these things. So every man's supposed to have his own substance. That's how we're supposed to live off the land.
That's it.
That's why the animals are there for you make them graze off the land and all of that to bring forth food, so you can feed yourself and feed your families, man. Take care of yourself.
That's it. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than the heart could wish.
They can have more than the heart could wish. They don't need no help.
Right.
They could just jump on a G5 jet with a plate of hot food and go from here to Spain, and from Spain to Portugal, and Portugal to the end of the earth, Russia, then Russia all the way back. Do a whole fucking 365 trip if they want to on the jet. And and
can
not
have,
have not a care in the world, man.
breakfast in one country, lunch in another,
Exactly.
dinner in another.
And then still make it to the
Yeah.
fucking NBA game.
Yeah. And
They
it's
can do what the fuck they want.
and these ain't no low end restaurant. These, JC's a number higher than 10. It's like, yo, this is expensive ass shit.
And you know, Jake, as I said, Jake envy the oppressor. So they try and copy that. Like you got the Mayweathers, they jump in their jets, they
Yeah.
go to the game,
Yeah.
and they jump in their jet, they go here to Jamaica, they go to this island, and they come back to America. So they're trying to live like Esau, man. But that shit's gonna be short lived. Because that shit is temporal.
Yeah, because Esau can actually afford that shit. Man.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Like Jake do it for show. Esau
Yeah.
just does that because he's
Exactly,
able to
yeah.
do it. And he doesn't even let people know about it
Yeah.
either. He does it in secret.
Yeah.
Like the Rothschilds, and they got places all over the earth.
Yeah.
They can just go there and chill. And they don't have to ask no one about anything. They got Rothschild Island, as I showed you on the map. I think it's in Antarctica or something. They got a Rothschild bunker all the way in fucking Antarctica. They don't have to ask permission. They don't have passports. The
Yeah.
Rothschilds, the banking elite, they don't go through fucking customs, man.
Nah,
You know, they don't like they have to go line up and go through TSA and all that.
nah.
They just go through, they just jump on their jets and go wherever
That's
the
it.
fuck they want. They're the only ones that have free reign to go wherever they're above the law, basically. Yeah?
Well, that's how you get all of these narcotics and all of these all of these children, all of these trafficking that happens by way of the wealthy, man.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't follow the same rules. See, the rules are for the goy.
And they never get punished either.
Exactly. The rules are for the goy, man.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Law,
what.
yeah, the laws and all that. The police, they're there to keep the citizens in charge.
Yeah.
In not in charge, but
In check.
keep them in check. You know, make sure they ain't going too far and above the protocol, man. But the elites, they're above all that. They can do what the fuck they want. They can go anywhere on the earth. As I said, they don't have passports, man.
Yeah. They're above. You know, well, elite, isn't it? They're the chosen of this world. You know? But this is us in contrast. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord your house shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So who else did that happen to on the earth? That's blatantly straight up secular history right there. There's only one nation of people that was on the earth that got put into a yoke of iron around their neck and transported around the four winds of the earth, man.
Yeah.
Called the transatlantic slave trade. And mainly the ones that had the yokes of iron around their neck was like runaway slaves and all that stuff. But the only people that went through that is Jake. No other nation has gone through that. So how has that prophecy not been fulfilled? If that's not talking about us going over there to the shores of America, man. That is talking about one people and one people alone. That's only
Yeah.
talking about the nation of Israel, man.
Yeah.
And that's talking about the so-called native. Let's talk about you so-called African Americans, you so-called West Indian Caribbeans, you Haitians, you Dominicans, the Northern Kingdom. We're the only ones that suffered those persecutions, man, on that level.
Yep. And then if I could say it, but when we're still living through that part of that, where it says, shall go to for want of all things, man.
Of course.
You know, hey,
He
this
shall
man.
lend to,
Say again?
he shall lend to thee, thou
Exactly.
shalt not lend to him.
Exactly. Right. And then and that's why, you get certain of these people say, I'll go back to your own land, but you can't go back to your own land because
What land, man?
Exactly.
Our land's been infiltrated right
Yeah.
now. We can't go back to our land even if we wanted to. You don't talk about no Africa because we're not no fucking Africans,
That's
man.
it. You know, so it's
We just sojourned there. That doesn't mean it's our
Exactly.
land.
it's just like there's no getting away from this, man. Right? Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You might try do a thing here, do a thing there, but somewhere along the line you're gonna meet an Edomite, man. And that's just the truth.
That's it, man. And that's why these devils got hell to pay.
That's it.
That's what the bottom line is, man. They got hell to pay, and there's no other way for them to pay it, but for them to suffer how we suffered, man.
That's right.
They get a taste of their own medicine, which is slavery.
Huh.
That's just what it is. As bitter as it sounds, that's the only righteous way this is going to be served, man. Justice is going to be served. You have to go into slavery, man. That's the only alternative, man.
We destroyed it, bro.
That's the only alternative. There is no other alternative, man. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's it. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. That's it. So look forward to, you know, seeing some bolts of iron around your hands and your arms and your neck, man. You know, and your feet. Look forward, man. Watch all them different slave movies, man. Dingo, 12 Years a Slave. You know, name some other ones. Goodbye, Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Watch all them Roots. Watch all them slave movies and picture yourself, man.
Yeah.
Just change the characters. Picture your Planet of the Apes. Well, that one's already got you in slavery. Planet of the Apes. You just got to change the apes, man, to Jakes.
They're gonna
You know?
gonna have to ask AI to draw some
Yeah.
images.
Put
draw
Jake's
some
face
images of white people.
instead of apes.
enslaved.
Put Jake's
Yeah.
face and Hispanic tribes in those garments, man.
That's it.
You know, representing the different tribes, and then have you Edomites dressed out like Charleston Heston was in a cage, getting his ass beat, man. You know, getting captured and all these different things, man.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what's going to happen to you, devils. We're going to chase you down. We're going to capture you, and we're going to enslave you, man.
That's it.
And that's the only beginning of your sorrows, man. That's true justice, man. And that's what you call justice right there.
I've got this for you.
And it
Sec-
goes up in a sec.
2 Peter 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking forward and hastening unto the coming of the
Yeah.
day of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless,
So if I can say
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
but before up, it says in all holy conversation. I remember back when the Dallas was it's the YouTube was still Man Up Jacob used to go into that word conversation a lot, and the strophe, which basically is like how you. It's not like what you speak, but like your essence, how you carry yourself,
Mhm.
right? You know, it's like
What
what
your
manner of
priorities like.
persons, how you carrying yourself,
yeah, where your priorities
what
lie.
are your priorities like, what's your mindset, all of that, man.
Where your heart is, that's where your treasures,
That's it.
roughly
You also-
paraphrasing,
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah.
You know, it's that. What's your mindset? As we've been speaking about from earlier, man, you gotta have the mindset of, you know, this place is done.
Yeah.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't think this place is gonna go on
Yeah.
and be fruitful and you're gonna make money and all these different things, man. Get loans and start a business and all that. You ain't
Yeah.
doing all that, man. Forget all that shit, man. Just deal with the daily, man.
Yeah.
Deal with your day to day. Get your daily bread,
Yeah.
and that should be sufficient enough for you. That's why the scripture tells you. And what is it? Give me poverty, give me neither
Neither
poverty nor riches,
Yeah.
but feed me with that which is sufficient for thee.
Yeah.
Proverbs the 30th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And then First Timothy talks about getting that daily bread, getting that daily
Six,
substance,
innit?
being
Yeah.
content therewith. Being content with your daily substance, man. That's it. We live day by day, man. We ain't thinking about no fucking, you know, this place being here for the long term. Because we know that
Whoa.
according to the scriptures, this place is on its way out.
Well, no, you're really thinking about tomorrow because we're still in this flesh. We've got to, not be unwise, right?
Yeah,
so
you
I
know,
was just saying,
tomorrow's not promised, man.
exactly. We know that just like 9/10 was a normal day.
I'm sure those people over there in Maui, Hawaii,
Yeah, exactly.
thought it was a nice sunny day. You know, they're gonna chill and then on the weekend they're gonna have fun. And now most of them people are dead.
Yeah,
They got burnt alive in their houses, man. They got incinerated because Esau Edom's the devil, and he has plans for that place over there
Yeah.
to build, take the land and build these little smart cities. So those people didn't have no idea that a lot of shit was gonna happen to them.
that's it.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't living. They wasn't thinking about living day to day. They thought they was gonna live there forever. You know.
Real quick, if I may. James 4:13, 14 and 15 says, "Go to now, ye that say today or tomorrow we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain, whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that."
Yeah, we live by grace, man. We don't know how long we got on this earth.
Yeah.
All that is in the hands of the Lord, because unto Him, belong of the issues of death.
Mhm.
So the only ones that we could really tell us our time span on the earth is the Heavenly Father, man.
That's right.
You know. So we gotta just have, pray for the Lord's mercy, and pray that He keeps us. That's always in our prayers, man. That the Lord have mercy upon us in these last days,
Take not away
and He
from
keeps,
us.
gives us the spirit to endure unto the end.
Take not away
Because
from
he that
us.
endureth in the end, the same shall be saved. So we know it's a fighting chance But you know, we're ready to, you know, do what the Lord told us to do, man, to the end. Certain brothers are gonna be beheaded for this truth, all of that, like right, and you know, we're still gonna make it into the kingdom if we're part of the Lord's elect.
That's right.
But you know, this life is temporal, man. You know, and we've always understood that, and you understand that more as well when you come into this truth. You know,
Yeah.
so
Looking for and hasting on 2 Peter 3:12.
Yep.
Looking for and hasting on to the coming of the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
so that's what we're supposed to be thinking about, really. These last major prophecies, thinking about Yahweh Shai returning, thinking about America being destroyed, and that entails, you know, the mark of the beast coming as well. We got to think about these things, man. Lord, that's what the Lord said. Thinking about hastening and thinking about the Lord coming and destroying this place every day, man. Every day you're praying that the Lord comes and destroys this place. That's the spirit you're supposed to be in. Not like, oh, you want to stay here and make it. You want to set up businesses and all this bullshit. For what, man?
Which is why, if I can say real quick, it's we have to rejoice in those bad times, man, because those bad times help keep us sharp and keep us hating this place, man. Like I said, just been going through the last week with just, you know, catching hell at the job, right? But it's like I've been rejoicing in that, man. Just be like, you know, sending up them curses with extra vehemency, right?
We're supposed to catch hell. That's why.
Fuck that.
We're supposed to catch hell. That's why, because we're still in that's the plantation,
That's
man.
it.
So we're gonna catch hell anyway. Anywhere you are on the earth, it's not gonna be comforting, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, you know, you're always gonna have to go. Like, so, sometimes the Lord will make it a bit less burdensome than other times. You know, you might have your good days, but more time you're gonna have your bad days, man. Because you just we're in we're under the situation that we're in is bad circumstances, man. We're under curses, so we should already know in the back of our mind this is part and parcel what's gonna happen. So we just have to have the spirit of enduring, man. Trying to endeavor and getting through it. But the Lord's with us, man. He sees brothers going through what they're going through. He's not going to leave us out there to suffer forever. One day things are going to turn around, and the Lord's going to, you know, avenge us, man, on our enemies, near, far, and wide, man. Anyone that was fucking with us, gave you a bad look, was giving you hell, you know, just being a bad energy around you, they're all going to get judged, man. They're all going to get fucked up.
It says, nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
That's it.
That's it, man. You want to say something?
No, I'm saying that's ultimately what we're looking for. Because look, man, fuck everything here, and that's just it. Nothing here is worth it, man. Nothing. Fuck this place.
Oh, we got greater things coming to us, man. We read it earlier, man. We got mansions, planets, and we got the universe to worry about, man. Fuck this little petty jobs, 9 to 5s. We're in slavery, man. Who the hell wants to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of his life? Then end up on a pension and all these different things.
Yeah, but that's what Esau tells you. Like, I was in a cab this morning, just, you know, running errands, right? You know, speaking to a man, to the driver, and he was just there like, yeah, my kids are off for a month, and I was like, right. After school, you will never ever be off for that long ever again. You know, Esau's brothers. Esau wants you to work 9 to 6 for the rest of your life, right? And in certain countries, until you're older and grey. In certain countries, like in China, they've got this thing called 12/6, man. They work 9/96 or 12. I think it's 9/96, where you work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right, 6 days a week, man.
Slave labor,
slavery, man.
Well, this place is going down, man. We can't stress that enough. And we're just waiting for everything to fall where it may, man. We're just waiting for the day to hear, you know, war's been declared, the chip's been mandated, and all of these different things, man. That's what we're hoping and praying for, hastening the day. Ultimately, we're praying to see that our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, cut the crowds, man. Come with the chariots, with the angels, and then that's it, man. Salvation, man. And we're out of this bitch, man. We start afresh. So if any last comments, whatever, we're going to close out, man. You know, and hopefully brothers just edified. Till next time, man. Lord's will see you brothers next week. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and honors to the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.